Welcome, everybody, to the Built Different podcast. This is episode 4 of Off the Backboard, and we in person, boys. This is comfy. This is roomy. How are you guys feeling? Like, how are you guys?
I'm good right now. I like this.
Yeah, I'm great, Matt. You just look greasy still.
This is crazy. This is crazy. What did I do to you?
You're sipping on the nipple Gatorade. Look at this guy. Like, can we zoom in on this guy? Look at this guy. He got the.
Looks like he's about to pull out a Blue Eyes White Dragon. He doesn't know what's going on over there.
You got Blue Eyes White Dragon out of that? Oh, that's
crazy.
So listen, I got an important question for you guys to kick this off. We're gonna get into what we're gonna talk about later, but my important question to you guys is: how do you feel about Luis Scola?
Luis Scola.
No, he was low key in the early to mid 2000s, early to mid 2010s, late 2000s. He was a great role player.
Yeah.
Phenomenal role player. He could pass, he could shoot, he could drive. He was a really good role player. Never a star, but
he just did his job.
yeah.
He got drafted in 2002 and didn't play until 2007.
That's what I was saying.
He just
late
chilled in Spain until
mid to late 2010s.
He chilled in Spain until 2007, and he just came in and he did decent for the Rockets.
Bro, imagine drafting somebody and they don't play for you for 5 years. This is bananas. But once he did, he was good.
I don't know, like, for me,
chilling.
he's like a hero to me.
To me, he's like in the same boat with
strong.
Al Horford.
Horford?
Like he's in the same boat.
He
with
didn't
Al
have the
Horford.
peak as Al Horford,
Like,
but as far as playing their role, they're pretty
Wait, what you
similar
mean?
in players. Yeah,
what you mean he didn't have the peak of Al Horford?
Al Horford was an all-star multiple years in
So?
Atlanta. I'm saying, like, as far as who was better at their best times, yeah, Al Horford was better, but I agree with you.
that.
Oh, you're bugging the fuck
disagree.
out. You're
I ain't gonna
bugging
lie.
the fuck
Luis
out.
Scola,
Luis Scola,
he will give Al Horford buckets.
Bro, you're bugging the fuck
He'd give Al Horford buckets.
There's no
bro.
Yes,
He
could
got
give
that
him
one
buckets.
All-Star appearance off that bullshit. The worst number 1 seed of all
65
time.
Wins.
Not gonna lie, Matt. Luis Scola's best year was 18-8.
Like, come on, bro.
Al Horford's best year was 18-8. Well, I mean, but
It'll
it's
give
either
him buckets.
you would either
success,
take
though.
so for Horford you would either take 18-8 or 17-10, whichever year you would want, because obviously the rebounds are a little bit different.
It didn't amount to team success,
But you are bugging though. You're bugging a little bit.
I'll say numbers aren't everything, bro.
Nah.
The fact that they have
I mean,
the same numbers don't mean
Luis
shit.
Scola, though, I mean, he was a hero, man. Like, just seeing, like, just
Hero is still
an
crazy.
average. I know he's foreign, you know, he's Argentina guy, but like just to see just a regular looking white guy just giving the NBA buckets. He looked like he should have been like a mechanic, but he was giving people buckets.
A mechanic?
So did you not witness Steve Novak?
Well, no, but that's why Steve Novak was
Manu
also.
Ginobili. I mean, again, he was also Argentinian, but
Matt Bonner?
Yeah, I mean, Luis Scola, I mean, like, but in regards to Steve Novak, that guy was
Discount double check.
Dude, that had me real excited as a Knicks fan. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take you through every team. We're gonna talk about, you know, what happened the offseason, plus kind of a combination of what to look forward to. Obviously, there's some teams that had no movement whatsoever in the offseason. They're not really worthy to talk about, so those will be quick. But obviously, you got your teams like you know, the Nets that had a busy offseason, and, you know, the Lakers and, you know, the Pelicans. Well, not the Pelicans didn't have a busy offseason, but there's going to be a lot to talk about there. But obviously, I say we should start off with something that most recently happened.
big shit.
Matt, you wanted to really talk about this, so why don't you lead us off?
Bro,
here?
all right. So we got the Boston Celtics. Just came off of a finals run. Sadly, it ended in 6 games. Started off the offseason real hot, getting Malcolm Brogdon, getting re-signing the pieces they needed to, shipping off the ones they didn't. And then offseason just ends with a very sour note of their head coach, Ime Udoka, getting suspended for the whole year for having
Just being horny.
relations with a associate of the staff member of the team.
Well, being married to Nia Long.
Which is wild, because when you cheating on Nia
Crazy,
Long,
bro.
come on,
Crazy.
bro.
He's out of his mind.
Out of his fucking mind. He's fumbling the bag as far as with women. But what do you guys? Just a quick question. is he supposed to be the one taking the sole responsibility on that? It was a consensual relationship.
What do you mean? What?
When you sit here as an organization, especially like the Boston Celtics, right? Mm-hmm. Like Boston
One
Celtics,
of the most storied franchises of all time.
They're not your regular franchise. They're they're pristine. They have a lot of championships. Yep. What they're supposed to be this professional relationship. I mean, I thought the same as you initially, probably, as like this shouldn't be as big of a deal as it is. But then when you think about it, now your head coach is a guy who cheated on his wife with someone on the team. Both of them are still going to be around. Well, I mean, I don't know what happened to her. But now he's suspended. Yeah, and then he's suspended and everything. It's not the right attention for a team that's trying to win a championship. Now, maybe if they were like, some team that was rebuilding, you could probably kind of get away with throwing this under a little bit.
Yeah.
But as an organization that represents themselves the way that they do, I completely agree with the decision. I'm honestly surprised he didn't get fired, but
yeah, honestly, that's I definitely did too.
Because when they said they weren't sure how long the suspension would be or if it would be further actions, I thought they were going to go and fire his ass.
Yeah, I mean, he was just horny.
Like, you know who you are and what you are to the team. Yeah. Like, especially being what is this?
Finally figured it out.
This is his what? This was his first year of being a head coach, right?
Last year was his first.
So
head coach
why would you even put yourself in that position?
No, I agree with you. It was.
I would be more not open to it, but like it would be more like unsurprising if it came from a coach that's been there for a while.
Yeah, Greg Pop out here wilding.
If it was Greg Popovich,
that would be insane.
Becky Hammond.
But it's like, as a first-time head coach, that is not how you want to. That's not how you want to come in.
And honestly, so how much do you think this affects the team? Because I think it was Ime Udoka's schemes who got them through them playoffs like runs where Tatum wasn't scoring well, Brown wasn't scoring well. The one series, like Thomas said last episode, Marcus Smart was the best player in one of those series because of his defense effectiveness that Ime Udoka was setting the schemes out for. So like, do you think like because they only have an interim coach right now that has never had head coaching experience, so like. How much do you think this affects their upcoming season?
I think the Celtics are disciplined enough to where it won't be similar to the Warriors without Kerr, but along those lines, they might not have the success that the Warriors did, but I think that they'll be able to keep it together enough.
Luke Walton had the Warriors going on a 28-win streak. I don't know.
I'm gonna disagree. And the reason I'm going to disagree is because we kind of saw this team under Brad Stevens, and we all thought Brad Stevens was a ridiculously good coach. Probably is. Who knows? But I think obviously he's in the right spot in the front office because I think that's his true talent is putting a team together, building a team, that kind of thing. So there's nothing wrong with it. And then this guy comes in, and they end up making the finals. Now, what have you? You can say what you want about the East and how it shook up, but I don't know. And we kind of hear these underlying stories of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum not really, getting along too well. Yeah. Jaylen Brown was very vocal during the trade process. We got a cat now.
Busted her
we got a cat now. Get off of there, Stormy. All right. But we also Jaylen Brown was very vocal during the whole Kevin Durant trade process that didn't happen about how he kind of felt about it. And I think with not having a solid leader there, I mean, maybe this coach is a very solid leader, but like the coach that's going to be the interim coach. Yeah. But you're going to need to keep those two on a good level. And I don't know. There's a lot of personalities now. Like now we're throwing in Malcolm Brogdon into it. Who else did you say? That they got?
They got a bunch of they only got Malcolm Brogdon and JD Davison as new pieces, and JD Davison's obviously a rookie second round pick. But everyone else they just did the re-signings.
So now you're throwing in Malcolm Brogdon into a team with a whole bunch of good guys.
He's also very injury prone.
I mean, based off of their talent alone, I can see where you're going. Based off of their talent alone, they should still be really good. It's just finals again.
To me, no, it's not just that though. It's like if he can't be there physically, but if you think that he's gonna have nothing to do with the team, you're sadly mistaken.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So either way, regardless, that he's still
halfway
gonna
through
be
the season.
around.
Yeah.
He's still gonna be around. He just can't be there.
He had this like aggressiveness, this leadership role over those two specifically. I mean, everybody else, like you have Horford, you have Smart, Brogdon's a really underrated leader. But like what he was able to do is really just sit there and just like put Tatum and Brown in their place.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how destructive it would be for those two to just kind of do their own thing. But I guess time is only going to tell. So will the team be okay ultimately?
Oh, I am wrong. They also did bring in Gallinari, which I feel is a big.
But he's done.
I mean, he's out for the season already.
He is. I didn't see that then.
So Danilo Gallinari, he got destroyed and
he destroyed his knee, right?
First
Euroball?
game. Yeah, first game.
Oh, that's tough. I didn't even see that.
Which sucks. Shout out to Danilo Gallinari, a very solid player over the years, but just another unfortunate injury for his career. He's never really been able to keep it.
Yeah. When he was with the Nuggets, he was getting injured left and right.
But Jason,
Robert Williams' injury is very big for them as well.
Yes,
that is what to me would be the deciding factor in their season.
Is if he stays healthy or not.
Yeah, if he never gets healthy, it's not going to work.
And that's my issue. I thought they probably should have brought in another big man because
I was hoping for a backup. Yeah,
because Al Horford's only getting older.
They got Blake Griffin now. I guess.
Yeah, they signed him today or yesterday. They signed.
What was it yesterday?
Griffin.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
You didn't know? You didn't see that? Yeah, they signed in Blake Griffin. But I mean, like at the end of the day, Blake Griffin is not about to bring any type of defense that Robert
Blake Griffin isn't shit.
Robert Williams is a top 5 defensive big man.
Blake Griffin was a waste of money.
No, that's a good point because if Robert Williams gets hurt, I mean Al Horford's only getting older.
Yeah,
he did what he did in the playoffs, but how long are we going to get that out of Al Horford?
He can't do that for a whole season.
Yeah, I mean, I say thankfully the Thunder rested him at the end of that season that he played for them, which I think
gave him another jump.
Gave him a good season. But now we're talking about he just played a whole season, a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
Blake Griffin. But Al Horford played that whole season, played into the playoffs, played into the finals. Jumped right into training camp. I don't know how his body's gonna hold up. So I definitely do think that's a good point. But what about Jason Tatum? This is gonna be another year under his belt. Now he has finals experience under his belt.
Jason Tatum's always a toss-up with me. Because yes, he has the potential to be a top. People are already saying he's a top 10, top 7 player in the league right now. Yeah. To me, where would you rank him? He has anywhere from 7 to 12. I don't have an official top 10 just because every year somebody's
bullshit guy.
Every year people are fluctuating so much, and then it's still hard to rank where you got LeBron and KD at certain points just because they still can easily show you LeBron averaged 30 last year, KD averaged 28 last year, but he was injured half the season. And it's just they can show you that they can still go out there and fucking ball, but they can't lead the team as what they used to be able to. So it's hard to rank guys like that. And then are you going and throwing Jokic, Embiid, Luka over these guys? Giannis, I already feel like he is the best player in the league right now.
Giannis is the best player in the league.
Yeah, but throwing all those guys, it's tough for me to just straight up be like, oh yeah, I'm throwing Luka over KD and LeBron. It's just so that's why I think I am too, but it's...
Wait, what happened?
I'm throwing Luka over KD and Brown right now.
I am too, but it's just so now my top 10 from last year is already flipped upside down, and I have to restructure my shit 100%. I haven't really thought about it yet.
You know how much hate that we're about to get from that right there?
I mean, I don't know.
We have to consider the fact, listen, Kevin Durant's my favorite player right now in the league and will be until he retires, but you gotta stay on the court, man. I understand that you didn't miss any, cause he made a statement recently that kind of got me a little upset when he said I didn't miss any games, I've been here, but it's like, you're injured though. You're injured half the time.
Yeah, what he's saying is he doesn't take games off when he's healthy, but he's out half the season, the last 2 seasons. Because I promise you, if
Kevin Durant was able to stay on the court last year while Harden was just existing and Kyrie wasn't there, even towards that, I think they would have had a better seed and maybe get a little bit further in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, if they didn't face Boston first round, they would have been in such a bad.
Literally, all they had to do was not play Boston.
Because Boston had their number. They had the matchup set.
I mean, granted, I don't know how well they would have did against Milwaukee if Chris Middleton does not get hurt.
True.
We're saying what ifs.
Yeah. Well, where do you have Jason Tatum?
He's top 10, but probably lower towards the top 10.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
like
that's
8,
where
9, 10.
that's where I'm
Yeah.
floating around.
But when we bring it back to the Luka thing, and I know it's just completely off topic, but like KD, you gotta stay on the court. I mean, for as good of a player as he is, him just being on the court, and he needs to understand, like, which is why I wish he just took care of his body. Like, just you're a multi-millionaire.
Bro, all
For
he
a
does
guy-
is hoop. Like,
Yeah, for a guy who literally only cares about just stepping on the floor and balling the
that's
fuck
the thing,
out,
like, when he steps on the
doesn't
floor,
do like what LeBron
like-
does. Every offseason, LeBron puts over $1 million into his workout regimen. Why has KD never thought to do something like that? For a guy who's as skinny and lanky
Because
as
he's naturally
always been.
gifted.
He is naturally gifted, but you can't take advantage
his
of that
body
shit.
is like
His body is
declining.
brittle.
Like ever since that major injury he got, I believe his foot injury on one of his last years with OKC. Ever since then,
Memphis,
it's
right?
almost
I think
been
it was
like a
Memphis.
major injury every single year. And it's like, yeah, do what you do. You're a demon, but if you want, and I get it, he doesn't really want the legacy, but I think like his comments in social media can say otherwise. You got to stay on the court. That's why I don't put him over Luka. And then with LeBron, the sad thing is like, yeah, LeBron is still great. He's still able to give you 30 and 40, but it's not a game-winning 30 and 40 anymore.
Yeah, sadly.
That's the only
there
thing.
was many efforts last year where LeBron gave you 40, 50, 35.
that's
there
the
was
thing,
assists
though.
adding up
That
with
team
that,
was
and
so bad.
that team was terrible.
That team was so
But
bad that like
he's done this with
I don't even think
Cleveland-
that this was a
Cleveland,
fair chance to even say that.
Cleveland, he had terrible teams where he would put up 50 and they'd be winning by 30.
Because be
So
honest
it's
with
just
you,
like,
what other player in NBA history? I don't give a damn if they're in their prime or not. What player are you going to put on that team and they're going to do anything differently? What player would you
I'm
put
bugging
to
saying
substitute
Luka.
him?
I'm bugging.
I'll say
saying
that's a
Luka.
hot take. That's a hot take.
I honestly, genuinely think it depends what Jason Tatum you get. I would love to see Jason Tatum in that situation because I think when he's on, he could take over in a way. And Giannis. I mean, there'd be a lot more pressure on Giannis.
He
but
said
that,
all time, and you're gonna go JT.
oh, I mean,
and
all time.
Giannis?
Oh, all time. I mean, yeah. Michael Jordan would get them to the playoffs.
Kobe would got them to the playoffs. Kobe did get that team to the playoffs.
We're talking in their
Back
prime, 'cause,
07,
I mean-
he
Bro,
got that
with
shit team
this
to the
Lakers
playoffs.
team-
With this Lakers team,
With
LeBron
the
and his-
same way that the
Yes.
season played out.
Yes, LeBron in his prime would bring them. Jordan in his prime would bring them, and I believe Kobe in his prime would bring them to at least the playoffs. Not like anything
Not
crazy.
to anything crazy,
But I think LeBron in his prime would have been perfect for this team.
Kobe had Shmush Parker as a second best player. He got them
How?
Because what LeBron doesn't have right now, that he had before, was his ability to like absolutely control the paint. That's the difference. Is that right now he's
Yeah,
kind of
LeBron
hanging
is
on.
scared to run inside half the time now.
Which
If
I
it's a
don't- I
clear
don't blame
lane,
him.
sure, he will fuck that
I
shit up.
absolutely
But
don't blame him.
And he doesn't have that foot speed to just off the first step.
But prime
to
LeBron
just
would have
drive
such an
by
inside
somebody.
presence that it'd be leaving more guys open.
I'll say you.
They
you
can't
see
shoot. They leave them open anyway.
I don't know. I mean,
Nowadays, you just see
Malik, if
LeBron.
Malik Monk shot 6 open shots, I promise you could at least make 3.
Malik Monk was the one high
how
point
many-
last year that we had that wasn't LeBron.
Oh, how many times I lost on that nigga not make.
Same.
Like,
Fuck Malik Monk.
Whoa,
I lost so
Malik
much
Monk
money
had a
on that
great
guy.
year last year, bro. Let him be. Yes, he wasn't
Yeah, go
consistent.
to take your ass to the Kings.
So
Go ahead.
That's a good
Go
pickup
ahead.
for the Kings.
So
Just go
I
ahead,
think we
bro.
can wrap up
And
the
they got
Celtics
hurt.
with one question. Do you think they'll be okay? Where do you think they finish in the East?
To me, I feel like it's like V-Man said. I feel like they can be. I don't feel like they're going to the finals again, but barring injury, I think this team could still be a very successful team. But if Smart or Robert Williams goes down, I feel like the start that they had last year could drag out till this year.
Okay, that's definitely fair. What do you think? What do you think, Jerry?
I could still give them, if they just do what they're supposed to do, again, like Matt said, barring injury, or that, I still believe that they could be a top 3 to 4 team in the East.
Like, it's not too far fetched.
Because again, the Celtics are one of those teams that it's like, they have a system that works, and their players fit well within that system.
you just need that voice
Like,
that Ime was.
They're not well, they can score with the best of them. They're not a scoring team. They're a defensive team. It's a lot easier not easier to play defense, but it's a lot easier to play defense than it is to play offense. When an offensive team, you got to play against the opponent and just the natural elements of, not being able to make shots and shit.
Yeah.
On the defensive end, you can just, all right, I got to buckle down. That's it.
So I have them behind. First off, I have them behind the Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the Bucks
yeah.
are probably gonna be first seed.
I have them behind the Nets, and we'll dig into my Nets opinion later because I saw a picture of Ben Simmons, Kyrie, and KD eating pizza.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I don't know, it got me kind of erect for the season. But
Hey, fucking yo.
the 76ers, I got them behind the 76ers. So that would be 3 teams for me. And I have them 5th because number 4, and I'm not saying they're finishing 4th. I honestly think they're going to finish pretty high. I have the Atlanta Hawks.
I actually am very excited to get my Hawks take out there just because I feel like they could be a really good team.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I have them 5th. It could be a lot better. It could be worse. I love it, though, because it kind of adds another dynamic to the season.
That's the thing, though. It's so hard to rank these teams because any one thing can move anybody way up or way down.
The Nets finished 7th last year.
Right.
So,
Right.
so moving on to the next team, the New York Knicks.
The Knickerbockers.
V-Man, do the Knicks make the playoffs? Do the Knicks make the playoffs?
So, how we're gonna do this, right? You have to be within what, the top 10 seeds to make the play-in?
To play in, yeah.
All right, boom.
7 through 10.
So
does the
now,
play-in.
what are the 10 teams that should be in the play-in?
Well, we already named 5.
Right. You got the Bucks,
The Nets.
the Nets,
The
Celtics,
Celtics, the 76ers, the
Sixers.
Hawks, Cleveland.
yeah.
Um,
I guess you can give the Bulls that.
the Bulls. Yeah, that's your 7 right there. Who else do we got?
And then who? Miami?
Oh yeah, Miami's definitely in there. So that's your playoff teams right there.
Yeah,
that's
Miami.
your 8 right there.
We go into the playoffs,
So-
There's no shot.
It's just
That's
like
8 that are already better than them. We just named 8 that are clearly better than them.
No, not even clearly better than them. Because the only ones that I believe that are clearly better than the Knicks are maybe about the top 6.
Oh, I think all 8 of those teams are better than them. Without a doubt in my mind.
I will bet you right now, if the Knicks run into the Bulls in the play-in, the Bulls are going home.
I have the Knicks 7th. So the only teams I have above them are the 76ers, the Bucks, the Hawks, the Nets, the Celtics, and the Raptors.
Oh, we forgot
The
about
Raptors.
Raptors too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
9 teams.
Yeah.
Now,
I have
with them
above
being
them.
7, my
They're probably
playoffs
10th for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
they-
playoffs conclude with the Pistons, the Bulls, and the Heat, and I'll give a good take on the Pistons later.
I got Knicks 10th seed.
10.
Yeah.
So what has you kind of down on the Knicks?
Julius Randle.
Julius Randle.
If he plays like he did last year, it's gonna fuck.
But the thing about
Steve,
that
can
is,
you-
though, the
can you
thing,
throw up the
Brunson
Knicks,
up.
the New York Knicks depth chart for
the
me?
thing about that is I feel like now they can trust Obi Toppin enough to when Randall is playing bad to just pull him immediately.
I hope. I
And not
think
care
they
about
should
it.
trust Obi Toppin like that. I don't know if they're gonna.
Well, here's the
Knowing
difference.
Thibodeau not fucking with young players.
Being a Knicks fan, here's the difference this year. Julius Randle, what fell apart last year is that the Knicks didn't have a point guard. So a lot of everything was running through Randle. And hey, maybe things are going to run through Randle still. But I think the main important thing is that Jalen Brunson is going to be the one holding the ball.
Yeah, with his career high averaging 4 assists.
What I feel
Who has
like
he been playing next to?
Luka. Feel you.
So
But
Jalen Brunson hasn't had the ability to really pass, but without Luka on the floor, he averages 6.9 assists, which is almost 7.
that's good. That's all right.
You're gonna have
It's passable.
You're gonna have Derrick Rose behind him. I think
That's
Derrick
the
Rose
thing.
is very motivated for his 15th season. Derrick Rose, 15th season.
got
And
quickly
then you got
in that
Quickly.
point guard chart.
this is what I don't
chart
agree
too.
with though. I don't believe that Quickly should be that low on the depth chart.
I don't think so
I don't
either.
think he is that low.
I really
I
don't.
think he's gonna be our backup shooting guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not gonna be
Yeah, I
that
think
low.
Yeah, there's
Quickly
no way he
be
should
a
be that
sixth
low.
man.
He's not gonna be.
Quickly should be the 6th man.
He's gonna be
team.
the sixth
Yeah.
man. Yeah, most likely.
Quick-
Because Fournier, if looking at these 5, Fournier and Mitchell Robinson are the first off the floor. So that would probably put Obi Toppin in, or Hartenstein. I love that guy. Hartenstein. I love it. But
You should find minutes for Sims too.
Jericho Sims is
Yeah,
a great.
I actually like Jericho Sims.
And bro, but where does that leave with the? We just named the point guards and shooting guards. Where the fuck does that leave Quentin Grimes? Quentin Grimes is a dog.
Quentin Grimes is gonna, I mean,
Doesn't leave much minutes for him. I love Derrick Rose.
And that's a good problem to have.
I loved. Yeah, it's.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not putting Derrick Rose down for Grimes.
You're not.
So what are you about to say?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's just like he's old, man.
Derrick Rose is old. I mean, but he can move and groove, man.
Move and groove
And lead. That was the important persona.
Well, also, like you said, it is a good problem to have because if injuries happen,
If the Knicks could land a star somehow, it could get scary.
Oh yeah,
It could get very scary. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Julius Randle playing right, it's a good team. But I just don't know what Julius Randle's mindset is. That's what has me so down on them.
I think Julius Randle doesn't matter in this equation.
Yeah, I don't either.
RJ Barrett.
Yeah,
If he can take a step this year, I can see them being better. And also, you know what? Bulls, I'm still thinking Lonzo's about to be playing the whole season. I didn't take that part into the equation. Since Lonzo went down, you take their record from last year, it was fucking garbage. So, yeah, I could easily be seeing the Knicks take them in a 7-game series. Much less a 1-game play-in tournament. Yeah.
When it comes to Julius Randle, I don't think it matters. And when you said we need to acquire a star, I think RJ Barrett's going to fill that perfectly. Because what's going to happen is that last year there was a lot of spotlight on RJ Barrett. But now you have Jalen Brunson coming into the fold. And honestly, I think all the pressure is going to be on Jalen Brunson. And
for sure. You just got $100 million.
Yeah. Signed to a freaking bag.
The pressure is going to be...
We signed your dad.
Yeah. And the pressure is going to be on Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. I think RJ Barrett, his points will go from like 20 to probably like 22, 23. I think Thibodeau... I'm not saying this is the best team he's ever had because obviously he's had those Bulls teams. But when it comes to creativity and really...
It's the best team he's had with the Knicks, hands down.
This team's a good team if this works.
It just has a bunch of raw talent.
Yeah, on paper, this team isn't a bad team. I didn't want to shit on them saying they were like a bad team, but the East is deep as fuck. So like good teams are going to get left out of the playoffs this year, and it sucks. But
I forgot about the Cavs.
I said the Cavs when I said. Wow. Oh, so you didn't put them in your sub. So you got them 8. You got them 8
Bulls out of the playoffs for me.
Yeah, I can see the Bulls being the odd man out.
Yeah, definitely. I got the Knicks 8th, but I still think this could be another real fire Knicks season because there's a lot of people motivated. Derrick Rose is coming back. Derrick Rose, he's actually made a couple comments, that he wants more playing time and he's gonna fight for it. Like he's not asking for it as a star.
Be a dog, D Rose.
Hell yeah. So are we good on the Knicks?
Well, yeah. I feel it. Yeah, we're good on the Knicks.
So.
Oh, we never even talked about. They signed Svi Mikhailiuk, ex-Laker shooter. Yeah.
Why would the Knicks do that?
Because they want to get rid of Evan Fournier.
You don't even know how to spell it.
It's SVI first name. And then MYKHAILIUK. It's crazy.
Yeah, that name is crazy. Watch,
I only brought it up because I wanted to see.
He's gonna be a meme this year, I promise.
Svi is a great shooter, but he's gonna be like your 12th, 13th man.
He shot 38% last year from the field.
From the 3, I'm talking about. He's a great shooter from the field. 3. But I'm saying he's a great 3.
From the 3,
where
was
did he
30%.
Huh?
And where did he play?
He used to be a Laker. That's
where the fuck he was at?
Care about.
Where the fuck he was
last
at?
year he was a Raptor.
Wasn't he on the championship winning Lakers?
No, he was.
Oh, that was 2018.
He was like 28. Yeah, okay, 2018. I only care about him because he used to be a Laker. He was on the Pistons, the Raptors.
So any final opinions on the Knicks?
If Julius Randle act right, they're gonna be a good team or a solid enough team.
Hell yeah.
I feel like they're just gonna be a decent team regardless.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. Now. The New York Knicks played the offseason right. I know the draft was an absolute, I had no idea what was going on. I
forgot to bring that up.
At any point in time, I had no idea what the Knicks were doing on draft day, and there was a lot of things we could have done. We could have gotten that nice, fancy big man, Duren. We could have gotten Ivy. They all went to the Pistons. However, I think they played it right. I wanted to see this team with an actual point guard. Not saying he's the biggest facilitator in the NBA, but who is anymore besides like Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook and So yeah, I mean the point guard position is just not, facilitating like it used to. I think it's like a team.
I mean,
facilitating.
Trey Young.
Well, yeah, but
Luka.
like I know, but it's just like okay, now that's 4 people.
Yeah, he's not a point
Right.
guard. But
So I mean, when you necessarily say I want the most
Dejounte Murray.
facilitating point guard, I mean I don't think the Knicks really need that. They just needed to get the ball out of Julius Randle's hand. I think they did that. Let's see RJ Barrett. Just please use quickly and top in the right way this year.
please,
and Cam Reddish. You kept Cam Reddish.
Yeah,
You didn't trade
yeah.
him. Like at any point we
Give
could trade him
Cam
for a
Reddish some
first.
play time,
Yeah,
please.
Cam needs some playtime. Or else
Please.
you should have let him go to a team where he
Like,
could actually.
Don't fuck this up, please. Please don't fuck this up. I have a feeling Tom Thibodeau is gonna fuck this up, and we're gonna go back to this and laugh at me.
Tibbs,
But
man, he's a wrecking ball sometimes.
he's gonna play RJ Barrett like 45 minutes a game this season.
Just ruin stars.
Right.
Young stars.
So, the Indiana Pacers.
Oh God.
What opinions do we got
So
on the
for
mess that is the
me,
Indiana Pacers?
first off, let me just get this off of our chest. Fuck them because they didn't want to trade with us. But with us Lakers. Actually, I did see a report out today that they're willing to just do the straight up 2 first-round picks for them, and the Lakers don't want to give up 2. But anyway, they want to be a tanking team. They want to build that team around Tyrese Halliburton, but they're still too good to be a tanking team.
Free
Like,
Buddy
they're not-
Hield and Miles Turner. That's it, and that's all.
Yeah, get rid of Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, and they're going to be a really shit fucking team. Even with them, they're not a playoff team, but they're too high to get a good pick.
I feel like the Pacers just need to sell.
Yeah, I think they need to sell
Their whole
bad
franchise.
because
No, literally, their whole franchise. They need to just sell and
Move to
move and
Seattle.
go somewhere.
I love the pick that they got this year. Benedict Mathurin is a fucking dog.
So that
He
was
can
gonna
fit
be my
beautifully with
opinion
Tyrese.
on this whole thing. Is that's the only opinion I really have on the Pacers is because I don't want to say too much because I think Buddy Hield and Miles Turner they're not going to be Pacers for too long.
Yeah, I don't think they actually will.
But they got Halliburton. That's a really good piece. We're
Great
gonna
piece.
see what happens with his name is fucking Benedict.
Benedict Mathurin. He's a great. he was a great
man.
collegiate player.
He has the confidence.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Confident
Oh
as hell.
yeah, he's the one who said about the LeBron thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
gonna have to show
has
me.
confidence.
He's gonna have to show me he's good. Like,
Does Baker
what the
Mayfield
hell?
have confidence? Is it real confidence?
Baker's got?
I really think Baker sits there like in his bed at night and really just. That's for a different podcast.
Yeah, Baker, get him the fuck out of here.
But I don't know. I mean, like with the Pacers, like Matt said, I feel like they're a decent team. Obviously, they're not going to make the playoffs or anything. They could definitely make a run.
Oh man, come on.
The 10th seed?
No.
No, they're not. They're not going to be in the play-in.
Are they better than the Knicks?
No.
All right then. We already said the Knicks are.
You guys. Said
They're
the Knicks
already
were 10th.
fighting for that.
You guys said the Knicks.
Either way, you
but
got
I
them
already
at
named 10
7th. They're
teams.
still in the
I already
play.
named
They
10
got
teams that
they
were
got
better.
someone named Terry Taylor. That's all there is to that.
Like all 3 of us have the Knicks inside the play-in, just at different spots.
And I already named 10 that I feel like would smoke the Pacers. So I think they're probably going to be a 12th seed, but I think the West is just going to have a lot more shittier teams at the bottom. So I think
Yeah,
at
for
the end
sure.
of the year, unless they get the lucky lottery draw, they're going to have like the fucking 10th or 12th pick, like 10 to 11 or 12th, one of those 3. And so then probably not unless they get a steal or not going to get somebody crazy good. So that's why either they need to fully sell, get the good players off their team other than Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin and like Chris Duarte, and just let everybody else fucking go that can keep them playing good. And like, yeah, I know the league is against tanking, but fucking tank, Indiana. Fucking tank.
I think it's time. I think the issue.
Mediocre too long.
Yeah, the issue with the Pacers is that
They've been mediocre their entire existence.
Yeah.
they keep throwing these teams together ever since the Paul George when they actually had a team like with Paul George and Roy Hibbert.
Before
and all
then,
that.
Jermaine O'Neal, Meta World Peace.
No, I know, but I'm
and
saying, like,
Jalen Rose. Like,
Since that specific moment, the whole Paul George time, it's like they keep throwing shit at the wall and just hope it sticks.
true. They're not
I
actually.
mean, I
building
love
a
this
team.
draft
They're
pick,
just
and I
putting
love
random
the
shit
trade for
together.
Halliburton. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I love the draft pick of Mathurin. It's just after that you have to build, and you better make sure that this Hield and Miles Turner trade like nets you, because that's exactly what that package deserves. I hope they don't just give them away. I hope they actually get stuff, which is why I didn't
and low
think
key,
they
I'm gonna
would.
be real. If they do the Lakers thing, the Lakers trade for Westbrook and those 2 firsts, Westbrook, they're gonna fucking waive. They don't want him on that team. Bro, I'm gonna be real. The Lakers are probably gonna suck in 2027.
You're not.
2020.
Gonna suck in 2027 anyway.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Those picks are fucking valuable, bro.
Yeah, but that's 2 picks.
Yeah, 2027, 2029.
And Russell Westbrook. That's the trade.
Russell Westbrook, they're fucking waiving him.
I was gonna say I'd look at this trade and laugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, but nobody else is offering anything though. That's
It's Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. As this season goes along, that could be a
Miles
championship.
Turner is a guy who gets injured every year and might want to. He's a free agent next summer, so he might want a ridiculous.
This
payout
is
that
this
no
is a
one's willing to put
championship
him.
winning addition
If Buddy Hield
For the
and
Lakers, yeah.
for anybody.
Buddy Hield and Miles Turner
Maybe.
were to somehow end up on the Nets, they win the championship
Right.
immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
That's what I'm saying. Because you're getting a sharpshooter and a guy that Miles Turner is so underrated. And why he's underrated is because what you said.
Yeah, because he's injury
his health.
prone, but
Yeah.
his defense is fucking phenomenal. He can somewhat stretch the floor. He's got footwork inside, but
That's why Loki
just
didn't
gets injured a
understand
lot.
why the Lakers were like debating. Like if
Yeah.
you really want to win now, you would make that.
Yeah, 100%.
You would have did it.
So, fuck the Pacers. Let's talk about a team that randomly, well, I don't want to say randomly,
They're a league pass team this upcoming year.
like
they're gonna be fun to watch.
they had one of the best off seasons,
100%.
not of all time, but
No, no,
one
no.
of the better ones that I've seen.
For a team that's supposed to be coming up rebuilding this and a third,
The Detroit Pistons.
Detroit Pistons have fucking done beautifully.
So the Detroit
Love this
Pistons,
damn team.
like,
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna be league passing the fuck out of them next year because they're just gonna be a fun team to watch. Young guys finding their rhythm and just going fucking at it, being competitive. They're probably not gonna win many games, but the games they're in, they're gonna be competitive in those losses.
they really put together out of nowhere like a full starting 5 and a completely decent bench.
The only problem I even have with this team, and it's a fucking not a bad problem to have, they got a lot of fucking big men. They got Nerlens Noel from the Knicks. They picked up, they have Isaiah Stewart. They picked up Durant in the draft. Luckily, they
Jalen
got rid of
Durant is
Kelly
their
Olynyk.
fourth stringer.
Huh?
Yeah.
Like
Jalen Durant is like
he's their fourth string
Third,
center.
Which is
fourth
crazy
string,
because they picked
like-
him up with a top 15 pick. So it's just like, holy fuck.
and that's the crazy part about this team is like
And they
going,
just picked up Bogdan. the other
Yeah, I
day.
mean, for it to miss a wide open shot, that's cool. Yeah, we definitely need that. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, I don't know how I feel about him because he might fuck up their the young
I don't-
guys playing. Like,
I don't think so.
Him and
I
Bey
mean-
played about the same position, and Sadiq Bey, he can ball, bro.
He's gonna
Let-
play.
let
He's gonna
Bey
play a
ball.
role of a veteran that
Oh, they
just
have
goes on
Marvin
the
Bagley
court
too,
and gives
don't
you.
they?
Because like, I wouldn't worry about the growth of these guys right now because you got a whole bunch of talent on the team. I say let these guys find their roles. Let Cunningham find out what he's gonna become.
Fucking love Cunningham.
Let Sadiq Bey find out what he's gonna become. Let Jaden Ivey let them figure it out. It's a very talented team.
Very.
And Bogdanovich is perfect because he's been on destructive teams before. I think that's
in 3 to 4 years, this team is going to be a fucking issue.
And Bogdanovich, he's gonna bring that knowledge of what not to do. Because
True.
he was just on one of the most underwhelming
The
franchises
most
of all time.
toxic locker room.
The biggest waste of chances I've ever seen. The Utah Jazz,
Because 2 years ago they were literally a 1 seed.
and he's gonna bring
Going
that.
off,
He's
yeah.
gonna bring that to the Pistons
Yeah.
and kind of show them what not to do. Because, Marvin Bagley III, he's not no Rudy Gobert, and I'm not saying he's like a big star or whatever the case may be.
You really want to be Rudy Gobert? I damn sure wouldn't. Guy is terrible.
He's a bitch. But Marvin Bagley and Cade Cunningham, for example, if they become the best 2 players on the team, Bojan's gonna come in to make sure that they don't become Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert.
Well, I mean, yeah, for next year, I'll say I don't see Bojan being there. That's Bogdan. I don't see him being there past his current contract. I don't
I feel
see
like
him
this
getting
team is
signed.
just going to be a real gritty team.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
this
said,
is
they're
gonna be a
in
really
every
gritty
game they
team.
lose.
Fast.
They're gonna be in that shit.
They're gonna be
Yeah.
a fast team too.
Yeah. Fast breaks. Their fast breaks are going to be crazy.
Oh, bro, they're.
Ridiculous.
I can't wait to watch this team. I haven't been excited to watch a team that is supposed.
I
to
hope
be
they all
bad
stay healthy.
in a while.
Please.
Yeah, just stay healthy and just go out there and just go the fuck off.
Just ball on that. That's
Yeah.
that would be my biggest
Have
advice
your
to
bad
Bagley.
shooting nights,
Yeah.
bro.
Like
Have
that,
your
And specifically, you can use that
especially Marvin Bagley.
Specifically to Marvin Bagley because it's like
this is your first real shot.
His last 3 years, they didn't let him do anything.
He was just wasting away on the Kings, and now you're in a position.
And given I'm not even that high on Marvin Bagley,
which is nuts.
But I don't think he's a bad player. I'm just not that high on him as for like today's game, because he's just a big man who doesn't really have much touch around in the paint, and he can't shoot, and he's not the best defender. But given he also wasn't given a chance to show that if he could do any of that.
In my opinion, he could turn into an 85% off at Walmart Giannis.
Fuck no.
85%.
Oh, 85% off.
I was about to say, hold on.
I didn't hear your percentage at first.
85%.
Nigga said, damn, 85% of Giannis? That's crazy.
Like he can do things like that. That's what you need.
I don't hate Marvin Bagley. I just don't think he could become a star in the league. But I think he could become a great guy for his position.
Because he's fat, like he's quick, aggressive.
He's fat. I was like, that's disrespectful.
But that's the thing. He fits in with this team because Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey are going to be flying.
He's going to be a phenomenal pick and roll threat with Cade and Jaden. Both of them can play that beautifully. Sure. He's going to be a great rim runner. 100%.
I think the best teams in the league are teams where the center can keep up with the guard.
I was saying, where do you have him? Do you have him as power forward or center? Because they kept trying to play him power forward, but I think he could be he's a true center.
Yeah, right, they're going to play in that center.
I feel like going small with this team is going to benefit them the most because, like I said,
he's 6'10". It's not even really that small.
Cade Cunningham and Jaden
They don't
Ivey
really have no choice but to go small.
They're
not really.
Because I can't put Isaiah Stewart out there again as a starter. Off the bench as a spark plug last year. Not.
Yeah, he's your all-star good or anything.
As a spark plug off the bench, I feel like Isaiah Stewart would be great.
Yeah, he's your backup center.
Look how fast this guy is.
Jalen Duran, how much scratch does he get this year?
What do you mean?
Because you just said Marvin Bagley and then Isaiah Stewart.
That's what I said. They got him as on fourth, right.
That's what I'm saying. Where do we think he's going to be depth chart wise? Like, because they got to give him scratch this year. He's a top 10 talent in this draft. Jalen Duran. Yeah.
Just let it happen.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the more developed one.
Yeah. Because he's raw. He's a real raw talent.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be...
He's got good paint IQ.
He was supposed to be drafted,
he's
think,
one of
early
those,
20s.
Yeah, he's one of those ease into the game.
The only reason they went so high on him is because...
They wanted him.
Well, because before last year's collegiate season, he was top 5 in the scouting chart. So he fell a little bit, but I think he's still a phenomenal talent. He's not going to be a stretch the floor guy. He's just going to be a rim runner, defensive anchor if he can get his IQ up there and
not
shit.
Lazy. What I like about him, he's not lazy.
Yeah, he works his ass off.
We see a lot of centers that are this athletic, but they're absolutely lazy. He just gets right to it.
He doesn't shy away from that shit. He'll just
great defender.
Perimeter defense too, which is crazy.
To me, he's like what Bam should be.
That's fair. That's definitely absolutely fair.
Because like when Bam plays aggressively, he plays just like that.
Yeah,
like there's nothing like it.
I like that. So where do you guys have them? Like generally, because I know V-Man, like you said, anything could change from now till the start of the season and even on. But where do you
have
think
them in the rankings? They're probably going to be like bottom 3 in the East.
I want them to make the playoffs so bad.
Just because it's going to be a developmental year.
The Pistons bottom 3 in the East.
Probably, because this team is
you got them with the Magic and the Pacers and the.
Bro, they're not making the play-in.
They're not making the play-in.
No. But because they're so young, and like I said, I want them to go out there and make the mistakes now. Go out there, have their bad shooting nights, learn from that shit. I don't expect them to be a great team.
It really comes down to this almost. Can they fare with the Hornets and the Knicks?
Like, I think the Hornets are going to be the worst team in the East.
All right,
it's just LaMelo.
All right, then. So
they
can.
That's 15th.
Yeah, and then I say Magic
14th, and then Pacers 13th.
So I say it's probably for the third worst.
Where do you rank the Wizards?
Where do you put the Wizards?
I fucking forgot about the Wizards. They're going to be in like right outside of play-in. They still got Bradley Beal and Porzingis.
I don't think they're better than Detroit though.
They're more experienced than Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, I would put the Wizards 12th. So now, we're talking Pistons 11th or 10th. I mean, I don't know. I have the.
I have the Pistons as a 12
me crazy.
Seed. I
think the Pistons culture is changing.
The Bulls and the Heat.
What the fuck? Bro, they're just too young,
Yikes.
bro. They are too young.
All right, the Bulls, I can see it.
Yeah, maybe the Bulls.
Yo, mark it
I can
down
see
right
it.
now. We're gonna make this
No.
a short, and we're gonna
Hell
put it.
no.
We're gonna put it places.
And given, like I said, I just talked them up heavily. I love this team for the future, not right now. Hell no. You're bugging the fuck out.
You know I'm very high on Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, like I'm very high on
Jaden
Jaden
Ivey.
in a couple years.
But
Miami.
That is a crazy.
Listen, man. Like
That is a crazy.
I think
take.
we saw towards the end of the playoffs what they can actually be if it's not working, which is a very disaster of a team.
this is the thing, though.
Jimmy Butler's looking crazy. Tyler Hero's completely distracted. I don't really see I honestly think this is going to be. I mean, again, I'm probably going to be very wrong. Like the Heat are probably going to finish top 3 again.
I'm about to say, this is the thing about the Heat.
But
they do this every
they're a
year
regular
where
season
for some
team
reason
every
nobody
year.
ever expects them to do anything.
I just think this
But
is
then
it.
by the end of the year, we're looking at them in the top 3 rankings and we're just like, wow,
Every
yeah, they're
year.
here.
bro.
I don't see Kyle Lowry factoring that well. I see it's
I don't
just,
either.
He's another year older. I
All of
almost
them,
I almost
yeah, I
think
don't
this
think-
this could be the year he completely falls off course.
Bro, I just don't see the Pistons being better than any.
If Jimmy Butler has that hair going into the season, I don't know.
You're not wrong there, bro.
He gotta take that out.
That shit.
Nah, if he
gotta-
takes
that
the
shit
hair
was not
out,
it.
So that's my thing is like I see Jimmy Butler and all right, whatever, you know, he's doing his thing, but it's just like
Bro, I don't got a fucking answer for that. It's
why did you go on Amazon and order
real quick. Throw up. I want you to see what he looks like. Type in Jimmy Butler's new hairdo or something like that. No, his bro.
He
I want
hasn't
you to see
used
what
it
this
yet.
shit looks like.
I don't even know how he would
Baby
pull this
face.
off.
He shaved all his facial hair, but then just got ridiculously long. Like
This is what I mean, and he's like,
holy fuck! It just doesn't make sense. Like, what are you doing?
"That's
man?
this
It
is
gives me predator vibes.
like this is the leader of your team."
Oh hell no!
oh, man.
Oh,
yeah,
Predator.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, the side comparison is crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I just see him falling apart. I see the Pistons making it. Yeah, they're young, but
He's bugging.
it's young in the right ways. Like, all these guys got energy. None of these guys are stupid. Marvin Bagley's out to prove something.
Bro, tell me you don't look
year
like
two.
that.
No, yeah. I
Come on, bro.
That's crazy. That's
I
crazy.
just don't. I like I said, bro. This team just needs you're one of those guys who, if they fail this, or not you, you're more realistic. But guys who
One of
be
those
thinking
guys.
they're about to be guys who thinking they're about to be a good team and then they're not, they're gonna be like, oh, this team fucking sucks. No, they just
No,
need
I
the
will
that's why I said
gladly.
you're smarter.
I will gladly get on here and
They
say I
need
was
the
wrong.
development, bro. They're too young. They just need, and they haven't
That's
had
what
a
I'm
development
saying,
year.
is like they
last
have-
year was Cade's first fucking year.
It's a good spot because Bogdanovich, at the end of the day, he's not a horrible player. He's not a bad player. He's not an average player. I would consider Bogdanovich above average as a player, and as a leader, I think he's gonna do well leading this team as the only veteran in the lineup. Marvin
On the whole
Bagley,
team.
Marvin Bagley is out to fucking prove something. I think he's going to be overly solid for this team because
What
it's
you
not the
think he
Kings.
averaging?
The Kings have
And
no
given
structure.
averages don't mean much,
And
but-
can you Google search who their coach is? The Pistons. I know exactly who it
Casey?
is.
Dwayne
But
Casey.
yes, they have a coach that's. I love Dwayne Casey as their coach.
Dwayne Casey's a solid coach.
He's
I'm
faced a
sorry.
lot of adversity as a
I was
coach.
very shocked when he took that job because they were being a rebuilding team, and I'm like,
But
whoa,
he knows
just
what
went
it's
from
like
being
to have
guy
a
who
very
was
young team and actually at least have them structured enough to make, the playoffs or make
in a
some
couple
noise.
years, yeah.
But like Cade Cunningham is in year 2. Sadiq Bey is what, year 3, year 2, year 3?
Year 3.
It's not like they're all rookies. Cade Cunningham did very solidly for a rookie. And
second half
Sadiq
of
Bey
his year,
developed
yeah.
very, very well.
Yeah.
And then they have
I mean, his percentages went to shit
again,
last year.
as you
but
guys said, Duren is like their third string big man. Their bench is solid.
But they are all really fucking young. It takes a while for a team like that to fully get their shit together.
I mean, Killian Hayes, we expect nothing of him, so you can switch him out with Corey Joseph. Sorry, that guy Killian Hayes has lost me a lot of money. So he's in the NBA. I'm not. He has the
Killian,
talent.
at
I
this
don't.
point, he's a bust.
But
a top 7 pick, I
Diallo,
think. Yeah, he's a bust.
Isaiah Stewart, Duren, Nerlens Noel. Corey Joseph, it's a very solid bench, a
Right.
deep solid bench.
Yes, but I just don't think they're going to contend for anything this year.
Bro, nobody said they had to contend for anything.
Oh, yeah,
we just
no.
said they're
He's
going to
saying
make the
contend
playoffs.
for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm saying contending for the playoffs. They're not going to be contending for the playoffs.
I will gladly eat crow if it's wrong, but this team has a lot of talent.
They do.
And Jaden Ivey doesn't strike me as your typical rookie that's gonna need like time to get his feet wet and everything. He's just a dog.
I 100% agree. I'm super high in Ivy. I was low key tight when Keegan Murray got picked up before him, but I don't hate on Keegan Murray either. He's a great player too. But
Do you have any other opinion on this whole debacle, this Pistons debacle?
I mean,
this next team we're
because I'm looking at I'm looking at the standings from last year, and they were second to last in the Eastern Conference, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to be like third or fourth to last.
They were 2 games down from the Pacers already. They got better. The Pistons or the Pacers didn't.
Yeah.
Again, the Hornets are going to drop off from number 10. Washington should finish around relatively where they did, and the only other team that would be in the way is the Knicks. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. The question would be, can they contend with the Knicks?
No.
And you said it yourself. DeMar DeRozan's not going to have the season that he had last year. So where does that leave Chicago?
Right. So if that happens and Lonzo's not there,
because Vucevic, he played that whole
I'm
year
just saying
perfectly
the top
healthy.
10 teams, Pistons will not be one of them. They'll be 11
because
or
I have the
12.
Heat in the top 10 too.
So do I.
Yeah.
Well, because you're the only one that's that low on the fucking Heat. You're the only one that's
Because
that
the
low.
5 that I have
I
outside
don't-
the 10 are the Bulls, Wizards, Hornets, Pacers, and Magic.
No, I got the Bulls in there.
So let's talk about the Bulls
You
then.
got the Pistons. Yeah, let's. That's our
Well,
next team.
let's talk.
bring them up.
Why don't we just talk about the Bulls? So, the Bulls, they really can you pull up the Bulls depth chart real quick? Before
Let
I
me
say
get
what
this
I'm
off my chest real quick. The fucking Bulls have one big issue. Their interior defense. And they go out to solve that by getting Andre fucking Drummond.
they did nothing.
Did nothing because
They did nothing.
Andre Drummond has never been an interior defender.
Honestly,
he gets more
they're-
steals than blocks every season. Make
Honestly,
that make
they're
sense.
just banking on somebody else beating Milwaukee before they have to play them.
yes, 100%.
Because if they run into Giannis at any moment, they're going to lose.
I don't even have them in the playoffs.
With my last take, I'm not high on the Bulls being a good team this year. I just think they're going to be better than a young developing team. That's all I think it is. I still think they're probably going to be a 8 to 10 seed and fighting for the playoff spot. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. I just think they're going to make the play in. I'm not high on them to be a great team this year. I just think they're going to be better than a team full of 19, 20-year-olds that are still developing. That's all I think it is. And they brought in Dragic, another old
So my
fucking
thing
guy.
is then what changed
What do you mean?
from last year? Because everybody expected the world out of them last year,
Y'all did.
and nothing's changed.
I
yet.
said that they were going to be like a 6 or 7 seed last year.
No, I already said that they sucked.
First off, prayers up to Lonzo Ball.
Nah, bro.
I love
Lonzo,
that. I feel really bad for that
One of
guy.
my favorite players in the
Yeah.
whole league, but my man just can never get it going as far as health-wise, man. Should have done his surgery the first
3
time.
years
He
ago.
dragged it out,
When he was with
and
the
his
Lakers.
body's just
boat.
deteriorating.
He risked everything for one. What do you think about the Bulls?
Fuck those guys.
Damn, son.
He's,
You're rocking the attire.
You got the
Man.
Bulls shirt on.
man,
What championship year is that from?
it wasn't one of them. It was none of them, and they're not going to see a championship anytime soon.
That's very fair.
So
So speaking of championships, what are our opinions on the Bucks? For me, this was a fast topic because I think we all probably agree.
They probably would have been. They would have been in the finals if Middleton didn't get hurt last year, and just leave it all to Giannis and Drew Holiday having
Yeah.
to be a number 2. They,
Giannis was wreaking havoc.
yeah, and Giannis
was
was
on a
Nobody was
mission
really
to
paying
playoffs.
attention
Yeah.
because of what Boston was doing, but Giannis was going
balling
crazy.
the fuck out.
He was going crazy.
If he just had that sufficient number 2, it would have been clipped.
Yeah,
I'm not
'cause you
saying he
can't
would've
have
beat the
Drew
Warriors,
Holiday
but
out
they
there
would've been in the
shooting 6 for
finals
28.
in
I mean,
years.
the only thing I don't really like about the team is that they didn't really make a change. Not that they had to. I just don't
They got
really.
Surge.
I know.
Or no, they had him
well,
at
that's
the
what
end
I'm
of last
saying
year,
is like they're going to be running Wesley Matthews, George Hill, Surge,
I like their pickup in
Connaughton
the draft.
off the bench. I would have gotten at least one bench piece to put over any of those guys.
Arjon Beauchamp, he's a good pick in the draft. He needs a little bit of development, but he could be that guy off the bench, gives you energy, can slash, can hit a three. He can give you buckets off the bench.
I think they'll end up making a trade as the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they always get that one little slick slide deal at the trade deadline. That's just like, hold on.
Like last year with Serge
Yeah,
Ibaka,
bro.
Or when people after the trade deadline, people start getting waived and cut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's pick up that guy.
They just picked up who? Like
Giannis is I don't know. I can't commend this guy enough. I just think having that guy on your team in general is just like
the best player in the
he's
league.
hands on the best player in the league.
This
You can't
whole-
argue for
I
anybody
love the
else right
Bucks
now.
story. I mean, I love that Milwaukee, they didn't do what another, and I want to consider Milwaukee Bucks small market necessarily. But at the same time, they didn't make a move like another team besides like, the top teams that are normally there, Lakers, Warriors, et cetera, et cetera. But they didn't make the move like these other dickhead teams do and just trade him just for whatever that they can grab on the market. They committed to him, and he actually signed the contract, which I was still
funny 'cause
shocked. I was shocked.
3 years ago,
Because-
people were thinking he was out of there.
No, right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So he had all that pressure to leave. And
honestly,
go get a
I
ring.
was one of them. I was like, yo, bro, I don't know how
Yeah.
he's about to do anything with this team.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
if they
I feel
don't
like
do
the whole-
anything,
I
he's
feel like
gone.
the whole fucking world was thinking that, bro. Everyone thought,
Especially
he was gonna be
since
got Drew
around
Holiday, and I
that
was
time, that all that started boiling, he was actually growing that relationship with Steph Curry.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, this is a match made
they
in
were
heaven. He's
consistent,
just out of
first or
Milwaukee, go
second
to
round
Golden
exit.
State, and we're right
Like,
back to
yeah.
domination.
And for him to sign
But-
that contract with, again, on the other side of Milwaukee not making that move, he didn't make that move to just, get rid of me. I want to be traded. I don't want to be here anymore.
He
He
held it
just
down
stuck
for
it
the
out.
town.
He stuck it out just to see what would happen, and it just all worked, which is what made it such a good story for me.
Hell yeah.
Was that like finally,
I like rewarding stories.
yeah, like finally this happened. Like it wasn't like, a dynasty just dominating the league. It wasn't, maybe like one player just coming out of nowhere and having a run like Kawhi did with the Raptors. It wasn't out of nowhere, but kind of was. Kind of. I feel like Kawhi on the Raptors.
It was in the
Wait, he-
fashion that he did it.
It was a meme. It was such a good meme.
Well, because the Raptors were a good team before he got there. They're a consistent, good playoff team. It was just LeBron every year just fucked them up. And everyone knew Kawhi was that guy. But no one, when Kawhi got traded, someone was like, oh, nah, they winning it all. Like, no one thought that. No one thought that. And given we all knew they were a good team and would push a good, like a lot of good teams in the playoffs, but no one thought they were about to win that shit.
And for the Bucks, I just think they're my championship winning team as of right now. Obviously, a whole bunch of things can change, but I don't know. What Giannis showed me last year in the playoffs was something that he hadn't really showed me before. Was his ability to just get the ball, be the one guy that's really just dominating everything, and that actually
Get out of my way and let me get to
that
the
actually be winning
bucket.
basketball. Yeah. Like that's what he
was
showed me
doing.
last
Like
year.
he was outside of like being the main facilitator. He was doing what a young LeBron used to do. Get out of my fucking way. Let me take over and let's win this game.
And that was the beautiful thing was like before when it was situations where, Chris Middleton was struggling or not playing, like teams would be successfully able to kind of double team, trap him, do whatever and prevent Giannis. And then Giannis would start struggling. But this year in the playoffs, he was on a mission. It's sad that they ran into the championship winning team, the Celtics, because he was a man on a mission. And one more round, I think Middleton comes back and it could have been a whole different story. Any closing opinions on the Bucks?
I think like we're all really high on the Bucks and we know what they can do.
The Cleveland Cavaliers, very interesting team. Anything could happen here, but they got Donovan Mitchell. We already gave our opinions on Donovan Mitchell on the last episode. I really loved your take where you said, on the Jazz, he was just drafted, put into the position. He didn't really have to lead. He kind of just got to exist. But now it's kind of the other way around where he's the veteran and he has a whole bunch of people younger than him on the team. So, but my question to you is, as a collective, their team, well, what do you think? What do you truly think?
They have a lot of room for everything. Like, I don't think anybody really realizes how high this team's ceiling could be.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Like, this team could easily be one of the best teams in the East.
At Donovan Mitchell's best, he has the potential to give you 50.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
100%.
Kevin Love off your bench is nuts.
Jared Allen's best potential, he can get you
last.
20 and 20. You know what Darius Garland can do. So it's like they have a bunch of pieces that are very raw that if groomed the right way, this could actually be a very, very good thing.
Bro, in 2 to 3 years, I see it being Bucks, Cleveland, Detroit being like those three top teams for the next coming years. Like those
Team is good.
Yeah, this team I love it. Like
To be honest with you, this is one of the better starting fives in the league.
Yeah,
And I'm
like
so
front to
happy.
back, front to
I'm
back.
so happy for the Cavs because it took them, LeBron obviously came back, but like those years without LeBron were so bad where it was just Kyrie and Tristan Thompson. But sorry, Tristan Thompson always makes me laugh when I think about him. What team was he on? What team was Tristan Thompson on?
I saw it somewhere earlier when I was doing my research for this. I don't remember.
He got signed again?
He's a
Well,
free
at the
agent. He's a free agent.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
how
at the
about
end of
to
last
say?
year he got re-signed.
But it's good to see them succeed without LeBron. I love this team because I think the addition of Donovan Mitchell kind of protects Jared Allen and Garland and Mobley from, having to do too much. It's such a spread out team. It's ridiculous. But then when you talk about their bench, and Raul Neto has come a long way. He's come such a long way to be able to actually be a conversation that we bring up, or a name that we bring up. Karis LeVert is on their bench.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's on their bench.
That's crazy.
All he needs to do is either Neto or Rubio, whoever is the main facilitator off that bench, whoever they give the reins to that, get LeVert the ball and let him just go the fuck off when the starters are off that floor.
He's a 17 point per game player off the bench. Kevin Love is on your bench.
Yeah, and he had a lot of 6 Man of the Year votes last year.
And then you got Okoro's probably going to be starting, but don't forget that they have
Okoro's
Ricky
a
Rubio
starter.
coming back too.
Yeah.
And one thing that I like about that story is that he really, really wanted to play for this team last year because he got hurt and he was super upset about it. I don't know if you guys remember that. He's very committed to this.
Yeah.
And on Ricky
And he's been
Rubio
around the
is-
league, so he knows.
Yeah,
what
we know
good
Ricky
teams
Rubio
look
at his
like.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this team has like
A lot to prove. Like they all have a chip on their shoulder.
I don't think this is like a championship contending team this season.
Yeah, not yet.
But they have real championship flashes.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you can see where they could. Because you got a number one, obviously Donovan Mitchell. You got a number two in Garland. You have great players around them.
Great
you got
defenders.
Garland is. I love watching that man.
You have shooters. You have rim defenders. You have wing defenders. You have everything. You literally have everything already.
Yeah. You have a
So now it's just about
quote-unquote
how
perfect
good
lineup.
can they get together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that could ruin this team, outside of barring injuries, which you always have to throw in it, is egos, which I don't feel like other than that we've seen.
I don't think that's
going to
be a problem.
I don't think this team really has
Well, it's
many
just what
high
I love
egos.
is how comfortable Donovan Mitchell's going to get to be. He didn't really get to be comfortable
Well,
on the
'cause
Jazz.
it was always relied on
because
him.
everything just
feel-
ran through him.
Yeah, I feel like the Jazz situation kind of humbled him a little bit.
Yeah. That's because we haven't really heard from him.
Word.
We haven't really heard. I mean, we've seen him just only in glorious Cavs shots. Like
Right.
we've seen him in this really nice Cleveland Cavs gear and his jersey and the photos. He's doing everything the right way. Like he's not talking shit about Utah, but he has every reason to talk shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand a lot of Utah's struggle was him being bad at the wrong time. But at the same time, I also don't think they did him right. They didn't really build, the right team that they should have.
When they brought in Bogdanovich to be his number 2 scorer on the team, and given Bogdanovich wasn't a bad player for his first season there, he averaged 20 for him.
I'm sorry, like
But
it's
it
burned
was-
in my head every time I think about the Utah Jazz.
It was just
how
like
they
when-
went out.
Wrong Bogdanovich.
Bro.
When you there's 2 of them.
It's sad, bro. Sad.
It was
like
just
over and
missing-
over again. How do you keep losing on open shots? I pay you millions of dollars to make that shot. It's a practice shot.
No, not for nothing. This guy being your leader is crazy. I don't know. I'm starting. Whatever.
Bro,
You're falling back on that?
No. I really do think they at least get 10th and they replace the Hornets.
that is literally a basketball drill. For any age basketball
Knicks
group,
replace that,
you
Bro,
catch the ball, take one dribble, and shoot.
I feel like I would have made that shot. No,
Anybody,
not for
any
nothing.
NBA
I
player is
feel
capable of
confident that I
making
would
that
have had
shot.
a better shot than him to make that because it's like.
Like,
Sorry, I got nothing.
Steve looked up my stats. Oh, Papa Julio, man.
This is your best game.
Papa Julio. To wrap up the Cavs conversation, man, this is a good team. I
love this team.
I don't know. Where you guys say that they can't compete for a championship this year, I think they can
I'm
surprise
not saying
a lot
they
of people.
can't. I just don't have them as the team winning it.
They
all
have
this
everything.
Year.
They got the shooting.
But I
They got
see,
the
this is the
defense,
thing,
they
though.
got
This is
everything.
the thing, though.
Well, they got
There
Jimmy
are
Bickerstaff,
scenarios
though.
where the Cavs could take advantage.
100%.
Right? But for that to happen, a lot of things would have to happen.
Yeah.
I'm judging this based off of
Face
just
value.
right. No injuries, no nothing. If everybody performs the way that they're supposed to perform, the Cavs shouldn't contend for anything.
Yeah. But like, I wouldn't be shocked if at the end of the year they're holding up the title. Like, it wouldn't be
I
like,
would be
whoa,
shocked.
I never saw this coming.
I'd be a little shocked.
I'd be fucking surprised.
But at the same time, it's just I envision what this team looks like at their best, and it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I feel
said,
like
in a
this
couple
team, you
years,
would
this
have
team
to
is gonna
give
be
it
wild.
You give this team 2 years and they're solid.
It's all going to depend on Donovan Mitchell, honestly.
And given if it wasn't for injuries last year, they were a 4 seed before all
Honestly,
those injuries hit them.
for me, it really comes
leader
down
test.
more to Darius Garland.
That's fair. That's
Because all you have to do is be good in the moments that Donovan Mitchell isn't.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you got to go out there and substitute him dropping 50. Just be good enough to win.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
just
it.
say-
And last
And
year
I know
showed-
Darius Garland is good
Yeah,
enough
and
to win.
last year he
And-
showed he can do that.
Yeah,
so.
and that's what I was gonna say is that he's shown that he could do that because before they kind of fell down to play in, like they got hurt and they fell down to play in, and then they kind of failed to do it. He was showing up in some pretty big moments. Well, we're gonna move on from the Cavs. So the Raptors,
Toronto.
interesting team because it's another team
Very interesting.
that I could definitely just see them surprising a lot. So the Toronto Raptors, what did they do in the offseason? 1 second. We're gonna
They re-signed a bunch of guys that they already had. They brought in Otto Porter and Juancho Hernan-Gomez. I think those are good bench pieces for them. Otto Porter, which just came off of a championship season. So, I mean, they didn't bring in no crazy big names, but they also didn't let anybody really walk either. Everyone's just developing. Gary Trent, good player. Scotty Barnes is their future fucking star. The only thing I feel like they should have done this summer was get an actual center because last year they were playing Siakam at center. Yeah. So it was just
What I think the Raptors need to do, I think they should fully commit to Scotty Barnes.
100%. 100%.
They don't need Siakam anymore.
We're about to disagree.
They don't need Siakam anymore.
I've actually finally turned the corner on Siakam. The reason why I have is, before this last night, I kind of went back and watched a couple of the Toronto games because I wanted to be absolutely sure about the opinion that I was going to make on Siakam. Because as you guys know, I shit on Siakam. I do. I shit on Siakam a lot. But I think he's definitely turned the corner because if you guys remember a couple years ago, we got into it with Nick Nurse a whole bunch. Very immature. Like, we were kind of roasting him for that. He definitely just sucked it up last year and just played and was just a leader and just did his thing.
He did phenomenal last year.
I do think you're right. I do think for Scotty Barnes to grow, he's the number one for your future. I do think eventually you are going to have to trade Siakam, but this team right here,
Also,
chip on their shoulder Raptors is a different team.
Siakam also, like, in the year that they won 2019, he was an older young player. So like he's already an older player in this league.
It was the older young for me.
Like he was young in the league, but his age doesn't show that. He's already like an older vet kind of guy. So like if you want to build this team around Scotty and get a bunch of young guys and shit like that, then the way to go is, you make the choice. But I think they could be a good duo at the 3 and 4. You just need a good center around them. But I wouldn't be shocked if they use Pascal to get some of those young guys that they need. Put him in a trade and have a package.
If they're going to keep him, he's going to have to learn how to really space the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I believe
for Scotty to really grow, he's going to need room to operate. And Siakam gives him no room to operate.
They're like they do the same things, but Scotty can just be so much better at it. So
that's why like watching those games back, like Siakam, from what I understood from those games, he's starting to do that. Like he's starting to finally bridge over to being able to space the floor as a big man. Because he was kind of like what I love is he lets Scotty Barnes do his thing, and that's what I think they need to stick to. Is they really need to not put this around Van Vliet anymore, not put this around Siakam. I think they need to just Scotty Barnes.
That's what I meant.
And I think Siakam, what makes me say don't trade him is because he plays perfectly behind Scotty Barnes as like kind of in the background, whereas Van Vliet doesn't. I think if there's one guy to get rid of for all of his value, I think it's Van Vliet.
Yeah. I can see that.
And Van Vliet
honestly, I'd get rid of them both.
Van Vliet,
that's a lot of shit you could get back to.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Van Vliet just came off an all-star season.
That guy, Gary Trent, he's that motherfucker.
Gary Trent Jr. is a dog, bro.
He cost me a lot of money one day.
Every time he goes against the Lakers, he bugs the fuck out. Gets me tight.
For a guy to be that good at defense, but then also that good at offense is insane.
I was so confused when the Trailblazers traded him for Norman Powell. I'm just like, because they're both on a contract year. They both did virtually at that point in time the same thing. Norman Powell was just 4 or 5 years older than him. I'm like, well, there's no sense in that. It was stupid. But yeah, this team. Great
I love
future.
Scotty Barnes, man. And one important thing that I wanted to mention about the Raptors is that the Toronto Raptors, when they play with a chip on their shoulder, they are like one of the whole best teams in the league for no reason at all.
Strong, big dog.
And I think they're going to have that chip on their shoulder because I'm not saying they would have beaten the 76ers if Scotty Barnes was healthy through the series. But they might feel some kind of way that can you pull up the Scotty Barnes injury video? Wi-Fi's down. Okay, well, Wi-Fi's down, ladies and gents. But
spectrum.
In regards to Scotty Barnes, I mean, they kind of almost purposely injured him from the look of it.
I would love to see this team with an actual center.
This team with an actual center?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like I said, the one thing I felt like they should have done this offseason was get a center.
Get Andre Drummond, right?
No. Fuck, Andre Drummond would have not.
Because I'm not even going to lie to you. If you take this roster right now and you take Siakam off and substitute him with, say, Jared Allen, this is a top 5 team in the East.
That's disgusting. I honestly think you put Scotty Barnes at the 3, Siakam at the 4, and get the center and just
that's where I'm at.
Plug a point guard in there.
Well, I'm not even going to lie. Scotty and OG is so good defensively.
I would have OG.
So good defensively.
And Gary Trent.
Yeah, forgetting about OG. Yeah, because
that's what I'm saying, bro. They can lock anybody down.
I say, trade Siakam for a top point guard. Trade Van Vliet for the center. Whatever you got to do in those trades, and Jesus.
Yeah, because I got Anunoby starting on my 3.
All right, I love that. Scottie Pippen Jr. stats.
Scotty Barnes.
I love
Scottie
it.
Pippen Jr. a Lakers.
So just to get some just to get of what's going on. So we have Steve, our audio guy. He's jumping in to help make sure these are all pristine and perfect. Has no knowledge of NBA whatsoever. So there's times where we look down at the TV and we'll chuckle because like Steve's just trying to like keep up with the convo.
These names, I can't spell these names at all.
Oh, Steve McCauley was great.
But the Scottie Pippen Jr. thing was actually pretty fun. So we're gonna move on to the Hornets.
Great.
Any opinions on the Hornets? My opinion is free LaMelo Ball. I already think they should trade him.
And LiAngelo.
You know how I feel.
Yeah.
I told you he's gonna end up a Laker. I told you he's gonna end up a Laker.
Hot take that I
The
hope
only
happens.
reason I think they'll stay on the Hornets is because they're gonna want to get Lonzo over there eventually to get the 3 to play together. I hate this team. I really fucking hate this team. Look at this shit. This shit's bullshit.
Like,
Yeah, they got nobody on that fucking team.
It's done. Stick a fork. Unless if LaMelo Ball comes out and has like a triple double year, like he averages a triple double and really
For
puts
what?
on.
For what though? They're still gonna be a bad team.
I don't know. I think he
For his development, cool, it'll be great. But I think he's gonna develop great anyway. So
LaMelo Ball as a leader, I think would be fine, but I don't even want to get into it. The Hornets,
even if he averages a
Hornets,
28-point triple double this year,
I wish Michael Jordan would just fuck
gonna
up.
be bad. Michael Jordan,
Like it's okay,
is the
dude.
Phil Jackson
You're one
of
of the,
owners. When
in
it
my
comes to
opinion,
when
you're the
Phil
GOAT.
Jackson was a
You're the
GM.
GOAT until LeBron gets another championship, and then I think we would have to call LeBron the GOAT at that point.
Yeah, because LeBron gets another ring. He's already about to pass Cream this year. All he has to do is
you're
average 15 points a year.
Like you make billions of dollars with your shoes, and just you existing, and everyone that mentions you, they have to pay you every time that they mention your name. And you're already the best
Not paying
basketball
you for
player of
shit.
all time. Eventually, you're one of the best basketball players of all time. Just fuck off. You don't have to run
He
a
said his
team.
name a couple times in here. I ain't paying shit.
Like, oh yeah, no, I ain't paying you, bro. I hope you don't ask me for money, Michael Jordan, because I'm not giving it to you. I think we would have to give him at that point.
Is it trademarked?
I don't know. I hope not.
If it is, we have to. If
Well,
not,
but is
then
Michael
fuck
Jordan
him.
gonna be like opening up our podcast? Maybe he's one of them in Belgium.
Oh,
Shout out to Belgium, by the way.
I already know
Yo.
we gotta shout out Belgium at least once.
One quick thing about Belgium is that we actually did grow kind of a decent following in Belgium. We got up to 13 active listeners. They're probably
bringing
sitting
them
there.
up.
Imagine they're listening, like they're sitting there losing their minds because we haven't released an episode in like a week. They're just like, oh my god, where are they? Like, it's just like they have no idea what's going on.
Shout out Belgium.
Well, when we take like a week off, I probably should like get out like a little video of like an update, like a 20-minute like podcast episode. But yeah, shout out to Belgium. Shout out to our 2 random listeners in Spain. Shout out.
Gracias.
But the Hawks.
Yeah, thank God we got off that Hornets shit.
We
The
got
Hawks.
our big Trae Young fan
Ice
here.
Trae.
I was a huge Trae Young fan until the whole fuck Trae Young thing. I have no choice. I'm an I
You
can't
just had
push
to
him there.
mold in with
I mean,
some-
I love it. I love that Trae Young is our enemy.
It's a good enemy to have because
So they
it's
got
entertaining as fuck.
the Atlanta Hawks. They got DeJounte Murray. My biggest win, and you guys might think I'm crazy that my biggest win isn't the trade for DeJounte Murray, but the trade for DeJounte Murray is why this is such a win. Was them keeping John Collins.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Like a week before the DeJounte Murray trade happened, everyone was talking about Collins for him, and I was like, like.
He's beautiful.
What the fuck? Like, and given John Collins isn't like a superstar player that's gonna go crazy and lead your team,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't have felt right to just fully give him up for DeJounte Murray, send him to a dying Spurs team that isn't gonna be doing anything.
And all those trade rumors that they had.
But John Collins the last 2 years have also been very vocal about like not getting enough touches. And so, but I think he's a vital part of this team. He gives that energy. He's a great rim runner. He's athletic as fuck. But I just think, bro, if for me, because
they're gonna be as good as their role players are.
yeah, a guy
Usually
I know
you're
at
as
work-
good as your best players, but they're gonna be as good as as good as their benches.
Bogdanovich has to do better. He has to
100%.
do better.
Yeah, he needs to.
John Collins needs to stay
you gotta
healthy.
write this
Everybody
down,
needs to
big dog.
stay healthy, first of all.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
To me, that's every team, barring.
I love
injury.
DeAndre Hunter. Love
yeah.
DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah.
As
He's a good-
the fifth best person in your rotation, that is nuts.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like the ball's gonna be flying all over the court.
you got two guys. You got two guys. DeJounte Murray, you got two guys who can literally run an offense seamlessly. And to me, for this team to really, really be successful and unlock their tier, like their next tier, you got to have DeJounte Murray at the 1, being that main distributor. Bro, have Trae Young doing the Steph Curry, bro. No, not like defensively, DeJounte Murray will guard the 2s and shit like that. But bro,
So you would want the ball in
Trae Young
DeJounte
playing a
Murray's
Steph
hands
Curry
over.
role. Trae Young playing a Steph Curry role, running off screens, getting those open shots. Because DeJounte Murray ain't doing that. DeJounte
That's
Murray
not
is not
gonna
a good
be my
shooter.
primary offensive focus. That can't be.
No, it's not going to be the primary offensive focus.
I can't
I'm
have
just
the ball.
saying, to me,
Nah.
they're both very above average
points
passers.
and assists last year.
Huh?
Trae Young led the league in points and assists last year. There's no way I'm taking the ball out of his hands.
Bro, DeJounte Murray averaged like 10 assists last year, passing to nobody.
Spurs, the biggest misconception of the Spurs is that they didn't have players.
They didn't have good players.
They didn't have the best. They didn't have.
And their whole system is designed around ball movement.
Yeah, literally. I mean,
these
Keldon
players
Johnson,
are designed to be in these spots at this time.
Maybe the old Spurs, not this current Spurs.
Oh no, these current Spurs are. But I'm talking about last year. Like they had there was a reason they were 10th and /11. I know I always make the joke they were only there because the Lakers weren't, but they were still like a cool like team with talent.
Their record didn't show.
But I'm not taking away from DeJounte Murray. I'm just saying they're not winning. I just think
he needs to be the guy who's facilitating more, and I think Trae Young has to be that guy who's going to shoot. Because I feel like he just needs to just be the other way. Around. Well, yeah, the ball moving around is going to be the best option.
What happens when Trae Young gets the ball? Tell me exactly. What's the immediate thing that happens when he gets the ball?
Like off of a screen.
No, I'm just saying he gets the ball in his hands. What are defenses doing?
Because you have triple teaming.
No, not triple, but double. Because you have to.
Regular season, that doesn't happen
DeJounte Murray's not going to draw the attention that Trae Young is. So you have to have the ball going through Trae Young's hands, because what's going to be great about the Hawks is that you're not going to be allowed to really double him because of whoever else is there. But when you do, like you said, DeJounte Murray's going to be flying all over. This dude's going to be a crackhead. Bro. And I don't know. I don't think the same thing's going to happen if you have DeJounte Murray having the ball in his hands the whole way. I like it. I like Trae Young playing the Steph Curry role, but I also think he's just such a better facilitator than Steph Curry is.
I feel like you would have to.
I never say anything about Steph Curry's facilitating.
No, but I'm saying, like, you want your best.
Yeah, but I think them two are very comparable facilitating wise, playmaking. So DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, I think they are pretty like equal as far as like passing IQ and shit and vision.
For who?
DeJounte Murray and Trae Young.
How?
All right, whatever. Whatever, bro. Y'all two are gonna be like, I'm crazy. How people are sleeping on DeJounte Murray's passing ability.
I'm not sleeping.
This is crazy.
But that's the thing is like you're comparing him to Trae Young, which is what makes it sound like we're just like, you know, just kind of like whatever to DeJounte Murray. But one thing to forget about Trae Young is how good his chemistry is with Clint Capella.
Oh, 100%.
That's another huge thing is that...
I'm not saying the ball can only be in DeJounte Murray's hands.
Right.
Like, it's going to be
That's
in their
how
hands
they're going to play.
Amount.
That's just how they're going to play when the ball is in DeJounte Murray's hands.
Yes.
They're not going to play like that the entire game.
What I'm saying is, when DeJounte Murray gets the ball, Trae needs to be a Steph Curry-esque player. I'm not saying that's how the system is going to get run at all for the whole game. I'm just saying Trae needs to develop that off-ball, run screens, this, that, and a third, and then I think this team can unlock something crazy.
Do we think that they're a contender for the championship? You want me to shock you guys right now?
I don't think they're a contender. No.
I feel like they're missing the man in the middle.
Give it to me, baby. I'm saying yes. I think that the Atlanta Hawks are going to compete for the championship this year. The reason why I say it is like this team is disgusting, first off. But secondly, is
got a lot of pieces.
Their leader, Trae Young, has now gotten jumped in the playoffs. He's gotten his shit absolutely fucking tossed and smoked in the playoffs.
Triple and quadruple team.
The year before that, he actually led this team to the conference finals. Yep. I think he has enough playoff experience and experience in general now as a leader that's going to successfully lead this team moving forward where we're not going to have a question. Obviously, injuries play a concern, but with John Collins, who's gonna start this season healthy, Clint Capella, who's going to start this season healthy, they're going to be able to keep these guys healthy. DeJounte Murray is going to take such a load off of Trae Young as well. Like, we're not going to get these fluky ankle injuries that he kept getting last year with, you know, more just comfortability, more space, less double teams. And DeAndre Hunter, you guys might say that they're missing that piece in the middle. DeAndre Hunter's a dog. very, very underrated because of the players that are around him.
Well, yeah, because he can't be that number one guy because
You
he's
gotta
the number 5
understand
guy.
who they're gonna play.
That's what it is. Like,
You gotta understand who they're gonna play. Like they're gonna have to play Milwaukee.
Okay.
They're gonna have to play Brooklyn.
They're going to play Milwaukee.
Gonna have to play
this
Boston.
Philly.
They're
Not the
gonna-
old Philly, this Philly.
And if you think Clint Capella can't guard these guys, Clint
They're gonna
Capella
bet-
can definitely guard Giannis. I'm not saying stop him because nobody can stop him, but I think Capella can guard Giannis.
To what end, though?
Regardless, Giannis
He's still
is
going to
get
have
hit.
30 and 10. So it's just
Giannis is going to score 30
Okay,
and
so
10 on
now
everybody
this is
in the
what
league.
this comes down to. Do you think Clint Capella can guard Giannis better than Drew Holiday can guard Trey?
I think Trey can bake Drew Holiday for the simple fact that
Giannis
DeJounte Murray is going to be a thing. But my thing is that I think Clint Capella could at least be in front of Giannis and stop him from doing everything that he's going to do, which is enough. Because like I said, you can't guard
He's
yet.
going
No
to try
one
to
is.
prevent him. He's not going to stop
No
him.
one is going to stop it. This is a situation where I say, okay, we gave Kawhi and Andre Iguodala the Finals MVP. Let's just fucking mark off on Andre Iguodala's Finals MVP. But we gave Kawhi Leonard the Finals MVP, and we agreed with that because
I did that year. Yeah, I did.
we gave him the
Beyond
MVP
81, I
because
did not
yes,
agree with.
LeBron still got his. If we, look at those stats, LeBron still very well had a very good series, but it was the fact that Kawhi could stay in front of him and at least stop him at least slightly enough.
Kawhi
So
was
that
also
But you gotta
LeBron's scorer
understand
of that-
how much
in that
much
finals run,
better
too.
Giannis is now than he was then.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is I think at least Clint Capella could get that job done, and then the rest of the team. I don't think so. John Collins is keeping up with a lot of people.
He's actually shooting now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as
At a good clip.
Clint Capella, they throw him on Giannis. I mean, basically, he just has to stay in front, and Giannis is just going to get what he gets.
And I love Clint Capella. I'm not even like.
I think he can take away Giannis's shooting at the very least.
I don't think so.
And if you just force Giannis inside, that's just what he's going to do regardless. But I at least think, yeah, Clint Capella can stop that jump shot.
You think they're beating? All right, so let's.
But that's the thing.
do you
That's
think
what
they're
you're
winning?
unafraid
Do you think
of.
They're beating
The
the
Hawks
Bucks.
have, I think the Hawks,
Do
out
you
of
think they're beating
everybody,
the
out of
Bucks?
everybody in the
Bucks?
league besides the 76ers, I think they have the best shot at beating the Bucks.
Do you think they're beating the Bucks?
They can.
Yes or no? Do you think they're?
I
beating
was
the Bucks?
about to
'Cause
say,
you
how do
just
you
said
really feel
The Bucks
when
are
the
in
Bucks and Hawks
championship.
play
You just said
playing
the Bucks. A
when
few
they
minutes
play
ago,
in
you
the
said The Bucks
playoffs.
are winning. That's what you said.
I think they can beat the Milwaukee Bucks, yes.
Crazy.
So you're taking the Hawks.
As of right now, without anything playing out, yes, I'm taking the Hawks.
To win it all?
Not to win at all. I have the 76ers. For the story. For everything. And we'll dig into that. We'll dig into that.
No, it didn't. When
Because I have to say, they're number one. My bad. If I said championship for the Bucks, my apologies. I meant number one seed. Number one seed in the East. For the 76ers, I have to stay consistent with the opinion that I made on our last show, in which I said that I think within the next 2 years they're going to be holding up the trophy. I'm going to go with this year that.
I don't hate that at all. Yeah.
But
76ers?
with the Hawks, if somehow we can pull up two windows and compare the Hawks to the Bucks, Giannis being one player that can definitely carry them over the Hawks, yes. But Trae Young and DeJounte Murray over Drew Holiday and Allen alone.
Both teams are great defensively.
John Collins is going to be able to successfully go toe-to-toe with Chris Middleton. And then it comes down to what? DeAndre Hunter versus Brook Lopez. I think they even each other out. I think they both put up the same amount of points. Brook Lopez doesn't rebound the ball anymore.
But then it just comes down to who's got the stronger bench. You got Bobby Portis off that Bucks bench.
Giannis averaged 27.5 and 10.5 against Clint Capella.
That's good. That is good. You're preventing him from scoring 30. You're preventing him from scoring 29. You're preventing him from scoring 28. 27.5 is a good number to have Giannis at. 10 rebounds? 10? This is a man that averaged 13, 14 last year.
What year was that?
27, and that was last year?
No, this is all time.
Oh, yeah, 27 and 10?
This is counting Giannis in 2016.
Yeah.
When he was bad?
Okay, well,
Or not bad, but when he was
now we have to start fucking
developing?
filtering. But
So
His last game, he gave him 43 and 12.
If he filters the last 3 years, If you don't take the first 2 or 3 years of Giannis's career into effect, that number is a lot higher.
Probably.
That filter is
But at
going
the
to be
same
against
time,
your
I
argument.
still think, and yeah, whatever, Giannis scored 43 in his last game against him. I still think 27 and 10, 27 and 11 is a good number that you could keep him at.
Maybe. Not every game.
Or maybe I'm just really high on Clint.
I think you're a little high on Clint. Like I said, I like Clint Capella.
But at the end of the
think he's a
day, I
dog.
mean, I don't even think
But
Clint
if we
Capella
get
would be
Giannis
matched
that we
up
got
on.
this past offseason, hell no. Or
All I'm saying
hell
is
no.
for the Hawks to have a chance to win this, they would have to have Clint Capella on Giannis, because if Clint is on Brook Lopez and John Collins is on Giannis, Giannis is gonna take John Collins out back and like just shoot him like a fucking dog.
Oh, 100%. It's got to be Clint. It's got to be Clint on him.
Yeah,
But
got you. Yeah.
I just feel so. I mean, I feel like we're all high on the Hawks, though. At least, like not as high as you, maybe, but I feel like we're all high on the Hawks.
I look at everything past this Capella and Giannis matchup, and I just would see Trae Young and DeJounte Murray just raising so much hell. Not that it cancels out Giannis, but everything else, how it plays out, like you said, bench. I mean, they got Bogdanovich on the bench. They got both the Holiday brothers. I believe.
Ooh, a Holiday versus Holiday. We love that. The two bad
That's the
Holidays.
thing, though. The
They
Bucks
drafted
just have
Mamu, who's
the
really
Bucks
good.
have championship experience now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So I mean,
They know what it takes.
in a playoff series, I don't think I can go against Giannis. So my final opinion on this is I think the Bucks ultimately beat the Hawks. It's just I think the Hawks are gonna compete. Like they're gonna take.
oh
that
yeah,
series
they're gonna
to
compete
7.
hellaciously.
No, I'm saying like they're gonna take that series to 7, and we're gonna be sitting here like
That's not far fetched.
like we would.
What, they took the last one to 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be a debate. I think it would honestly be a full debate on who.
I
would win
wouldn't
that
be
game,
mad
that game
if this
7
series actually came down to calls.
Yeah, but like you said, with the championship experience and everything, I think the Bucks would ultimately win a game 7 against the Hawks. But I still think we would still be sitting here having a debate. Like, if it was the Eastern Conference Finals, these two teams, I think going to game 7,
that would be a fucking phenomenal
Yeah.
game series.
and that's what I'm saying is
I
like,
wouldn't be mad at that at all.
yeah, those two, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, I think they're miles ahead of Drew Holiday and Gary Allen, whatever the fuck that guy is. I don't respect him. So,
Grayson Allen is
yeah.
he does dirty fucking plays. He's a trash bag. Anyway, on to your championship
76ers.
team for this upcoming season, the 76ers.
76ers. Reason why I say that is
You got a lot of pieces this offseason.
I feel like James Harden's about to come back a dog.
I hope so.
James Harden is about to be backed against the wall this year. And if there's one thing that besides the 2 times that he's had to beat the Warriors, which it's the Warriors. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the Warriors.
Those are the KD Warriors.
When he's backed against the wall, he does good things. James Harden. When he's pressure cooked, when he's pressure tested. I truly, genuinely believe he is co-aligned with the fact that he has to have a good year this year. For his legacy, for everything, he has to have a good year.
Yeah.
I think he's aligned with that. And the other thing, and what I said last episode, is Joel Embiid. I think he's just sick of shit. And we're about to just see a very wild year.
He's in one of my 2 guys that I have for MVP.
And don't forget, like they
Oh,
traded
he should have been
for-
MVP last year.
Yeah, and don't forget that James Harden was traded for in the middle of the season. So I honestly don't think that we should
Yeah,
take
that
too
was
much.
one of my points
Yeah.
last episode was that, he came in halfway through the season, didn't really have time to build a rapport with the team or anything like that.
So that I think Tobias Harris suffered a lot from that
100%.
Yeah.
because Tobias Harris
sure.
had to take a back seat.
Yeah.
But I think as we saw the season go along, especially in that last playoff
I
series,
love
Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey.
I'll say I
Tyrese
love Harden
Maxey.
and Maxey as a duo. Them 2 feed off each other.
Not a lot of
greatly.
people can guard that guy, Maxey.
And
I know.
Maxey at one point during the playoffs last year, I remember somebody, I think Harden's or one of them 2 were talking to a reporter about this, and Maxey didn't know how to do something in the offense, and he just didn't know how to like break down a certain part of a defense. And Harden like was breaking that shit down to him mid play and
It's a
saying you need to do
disgusting
here,
duo.
you need to, and like them 2 feed off each other so fucking well. And bro, they got Melton from the Grizzlies this year. They brought in PJ Tucker, Daniel House,
PJ Tucker,
Montrezl Harrell. Bro, they brought in pieces this year.
Paul Reed. They still have like I love
E-ball
Paul.
Paul.
I love Paul Reed, man. He's just
E-ball Paul.
I don't know why, but they open up betting lines for him to get triple doubles, and it's just like ever since then, I love him. But my thing is the whole PJ Tucker thing. I know in the past I've kind of criticized any of these teams that get PJ Tucker. But this in specific, he has a rapport with James Harden, and on top of that, he can keep Joel Embiid true. He could keep Tyrese Maxey true.
And he's going to give you 110%.
Takes a lot of emphasis off of Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid on the defensive end. Joel Embiid's not going to have to be that sole guy that's going to have every aggressive guy just coming into his chest. So I love it. I love this team.
And honestly, one really good team.
Daniel House Jr. as well. They got him for whatever reason.
This is a real James Harden team.
But like James Harden has never had a big man like Embiid with him ever.
This is the thing, though, because again, right back to the question: can they compete with the Bucks?
Yes.
Can they shoot it out with the Nets?
I think this team could possibly.
And now the question,
next year.
the real question that may be the case is, can they do it all consecutively?
Because I say yes, because when you think about the Bucks and you think about what was the other team that you mentioned?
The Nets.
The Bucks and the Nets, they both suffer from the same thing, which is they have one primary guard defender, Drew Holiday and Ben Simmons. Whereas you're going to have to worry about the second guy. And either which way, whether that second guy is James Harden or Tyrese Maxey out of the two, whoever they're not guarding, that's
it's
phenomenal.
Gonna be. I say it's gonna be Tyrese Maxey. And now, do you believe in Tyrese Maxey that much to win you that entire series?
To Matt's point,
Drew Holiday would pick up on Tyrese Maxey, and Middleton would pick up on. Middleton's a good defender. Middleton would pick up on Harden. Middleton's an above average.
Okay,
defender.
I would 100%.
Tobias Harris, I'm okay with Tobias Harris being the guy who
you're okay with Tobias Harris being open.
If I'm the Bucks, I'm okay with Tobias Harris being the guy who has to go off.
That's sneaky.
I don't shit on Tobias Harris, but I'm just saying.
I got sneaky deaky.
If they're
well, let's not forget Tobias Harris is the guy that can give you 30.
He is 100%. But if it solely like relies on Tobias Harris, I'll take those betting odds, 100%. If I'm the Bucks or the Nets, your point does fit though. They don't have a second defender.
But the beautiful thing is that the Bucks, they're like Joel Embiid now. The beautiful part is that Embiid's not going to have to guard Giannis. You have PJ Tucker who successfully guarded Giannis before.
Yeah. And he's only 6'6", 6'7".
You're throwing now that takes pressure off of Joel Embiid to do more on the offensive end, and then it becomes a situation that like V-Man likes to say where his offense becomes his defense.
Yeah, 100%.
So.
And last year, another big thing was whenever Embiid got off the floor and went to the bench, they had DeAndre Jordan. Like, bro, Montrezl Harrell is a serviceable enough center off the bench. He gives you energy, can get you points, and can get you rebounds. He's not a big defensive threat, but at the end of the day, he can more than enough be serviceable as your backup big, which is I think was a huge hole for them last year, but without all the injuries that were happening to them.
I know I see them as, and like I said, with the story, with everything, I think, James Harden.
League.
I just don't see James Harden and Joel Embiid, the combination of both, letting this team lose. I think, as much as I kind of criticized the trade a little bit in the moment that it happened, because I really didn't expect, I thought Harden was going to continue his bullshit. But I also thought that the 76ers had to win last year. But now it's turning into a situation where their window has expanded a couple of years.
Because
they didn't really do anything stupid. They just got James Harden and kept it moving.
Can be good for the next 2 years.
Because what I thought is they were going to get James Harden and they were just going to start doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff, like a lot of these other teams have. But they got James Harden. They were like, all right, well, let's see how this goes. And I think I look at a championship winning team. But like I said, I also look at a championship winning team when I look at the Bucks or the Nets and the Hawks. So
I feel like the big thing for them now is Tyrese Maxey starting.
Yeah.
And not coming off the bench.
Oh, I got him as a 2
he's absolutely
I got him as a 2 guard, 100%.
Yeah.
He's starting without a doubt.
Nah, they got him at the starting point.
No one could guard him.
He's just not a guy who's going to facilitate for you. I mean, you could have James Harden at the 2 being the facilitator.
When he's not,
this makes more sense.
His issue last year was doing a whole bunch of making a bunch of rookie mistakes, because obviously his first year wasn't a full year. He came in when everyone got COVID. he was like the one guy on the floor that could score, so he scored like 40 or whatever.
It was just on weird percentages. It was just him out there.
But last year, I think he got all of his rookie mistakes out the way.
Yeah, he was bugging last year.
I love it. No one can guard him when he's actually not doing dickhead moves.
I was so surprised that he fell to 20th, right? In his draft year, he was a top 11, 12 guy in that draft for me.
For sure.
Like on my big board, he was like a top 12 talent to me easily. And when he fell to 20, I was like, what the fuck?
So
The Sixers got to steal with that shit.
yeah. Got anything else for the 76ers?
No, I believe in their potential. I believe in their talent.
They look like Joel Embiid.
This is crazy.
What?
This is crazy.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
You're 100% wrong.
Joel
What?
Embiid, bro.
No, when I edit this, I'm gonna put Joel Embiid next to you.
Bro, I don't think he looks like Joel Embiid.
I think he does, man. Let's see what Steve thinks.
I don't know.
Joel, Joel.
Oh, I love-
and then
I love you,
Embiid is
Steve.
Embiid.
Bro, in what world?
It's the hair. It's the hair, bro. He thinks it's the hair.
In what world?
The hair, the beard. You guys got kind of similar noses.
I think you're just being racist.
Right.
Fine, it's because they're black. No.
See you guys later. What do you think, man?
You don't at least see some shade of me, man. Shade. All right, let's move on.
you're bugging.
Let's move all right.
Way to go out, Sex. Way to go out. Way to go
So
out.
we're gonna need a new host starting now.
In closing,
Steve is gonna be like, welcome to the Build Different podcast.
my name is Thomas Says.
So the Miami Heat, to kind of continue on this little championship string that we're on. I'm sorry, guys. I don't.
Do we really got to do this? These
I'll say I feel like we've already talked about it a decent amount.
The do we really got to do this is hilarious. Come on. I don't know, cause pulling them up, they lost PJ Tucker. Victor
which hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, Victor Oladipo's coming into the season healthy. I guess that's good. They got Nikola Jovic, not Jokic, but Jovic.
Jovic, rookie.
They re-signed
He looks
Udonis
good.
Haslam. I'm kidding. I really think nothing of that guy. I'm sorry, Steve. But I don't know. I think Kyle Lowry's on his way out the league. He's like 36 this year, I believe. Duncan Robinson.
Once he got his
Duncan
bag
Robinson
2
is
years ago,
terrible.
He's been dog shit.
Tyler Hero's very distracted. I don't know you guys. I know you guys see him all in the news, just saying whatever. That he deserves the money. That when he's on. Like I'm a bad whatever, dude. You still haven't had a good playoff series yet, or a playoff performance yet.
In the bubble he did, but not last year.
But Bam Adebayo, I think after last year, I'm really turned off from that guy. So I'm gonna really need to see him come into the season and just be.
Yeah, because that was awful.
Yeah.
I
That
don't
was
think we're gonna
completely
get the same. Not I wouldn't say luck because they are talented players, but I don't think we're gonna see the same thing from
Yo.
guys like Yurt Seven,
So real
from guys
quick.
like Gabe Vincent, from guys like
Max Strus.
Dwayne Dedman.
Yeah, Max Strus.
Like,
It's not.
and
gonna
then-
I feel
happen.
like that Miami Heat team, they was like a real heat of the moment type of team.
What? Oh, good pun. What, the bubble team?
No, last year.
Oh, last year.
Like, I feel like that's the potential. That's the max potential of that team.
Max Strus. So real quick, they lost PJ Tucker. You already brought that up, which is huge.
Hurts.
Who's running their four? They don't got it.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson now.
Duncan
Terrible.
Robinson's running their four.
Yes, he's their starting four now.
He's 6'7",
Awful.
That's what I'm saying. And if Jimmy
6'7"
Butler,
shooting guard.
and if Jimmy Butler is gonna come,
I
into
think
this
it's going to
season
be
with this
Butler
hair,
who's actually going to be taking that position. But
that's what I'm saying. Like you see Jimmy Butler coming into the season with that hairdo, it's just like
I just can't not see them in the playoffs.
I can. I don't see it.
See, we need that Jimmy Butler back. Bring that.
Oh yeah, if he goes back to that, I will sit here and say that he
Throw the
made the
facial
playoffs.
hair back and take the fucking extensions out, big dog.
And yeah, I know I shouldn't be judging a player by their looks, and I'm not making fun of this hairstyle. But what the fuck?
I don't know. It's still up to debate if I'm gonna keep my hair like this.
Cap.
They're not extensions.
Cap.
What the fuck you mean they're not
Yeah.
extensions?
Dude, you literally appeared like a month and a half after the playoffs with this.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I ain't even thought about it.
They must have straightened the fuck out of that to get it that long. There ain't no fucking way.
You have millions of dollars
That's the best you
to have any hair you want. Like it could look a lot, but that's my issue is that hairstyle could probably look
Yeah,
a lot
that
better.
exact same style of hair, he could have just done it way better.
Could have paid maybe like a couple of thousands of dollars more to make it look better. I don't.
All right, so real quick, the Heat are just not looking good this year as far as like all of this.
Can you
I don't wanna
please? Do you
keep-
see what I mean now?
Oh yes, but I still think they're gonna be a playoff team,
Why?
bro. They have that.
Jimmy Butler's not doing the same shit he did with that hair. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You can't actually take the hair into actual basketball
I can't.
play.
And you know Jimmy Butler
no,
goes stretches of the season where he's injured.
Huh?
You know Jimmy Butler's usually hurt for a stretch of the season.
Yeah, and if he gets hurt for any stretch of the season,
It's
I don't see
over.
them winning a single game. That's the
Probably not. They're probably going to be getting blown
No,
out
I'm
the
saying, like,
water.
this year, it's different this year, I'm saying. Like this year, we're talking about Kyle Lowry, who completely fell apart in the playoffs. That seems like the Kyle Lowry that we're going to get again. I mean, granted, he was injured, but he's old. Like, how old is he now? 35, 36?
Something like that.
I'm telling you, that was the
36.
best that the Heat had to offer.
Son said he's thick. Kyle Lowry thick as fuck. That's what he said. Anyway, I just can't see them not being in the playoffs. Do I think they're going to be a good team? No, they're going to be at the bottom of the East unless somehow they do, like V-Man said earlier, what we all don't expect and always end up a top 3 seed randomly.
They're going to need Jimmy Butler
But
to
that's
come
the
out
thing.
there
I
and
feel like
score
they're going to
40.
be completely polar opposite of what they were last year. Nobody's afraid of them anymore. That was their thing last year. Everybody was afraid of them.
Everyone
they worked
was shook,
harder than
like, oh, wow,
everybody
this
else. They were
team is-
physical with everybody.
yeah.
Nobody
Eric's
cares
bullshit, man.
anymore about that.
I just
shit.
think with their coaching, with their the team's just the team's DNA. They're going to be a playoff team in my opinion. Do I think they're going to be a good playoff team? No. Do I think they're going to give
I
somebody
feel
a run
like
for their money?
their
Probably
max
not.
ceiling is the 6th seed.
I have them around the 6th.
That's
seed,
if everything goes right for them.
I have them around the 6th seed. So I don't
I don't have them making the playoffs. It's just
Yeah, that would be their bottom.
yeah. So let's move on to a more fascinating topic because fuck the Heat. The Brooklyn Nets.
the team that had all the news on them
Well,
for
actually,
the whole offseason.
let's end with the Nets. Any opinion on the Orlando Magic?
I like their pickups in the draft. Paulo Banchero and Caleb Houston, very good pickups. Another year of development for that team, but that's it. It's not a good.
by Disney.
Huh?
It's by Disney.
Disney. But I mean, like they have a lot of look how
That's
many
about
they have.
it.
Look how many fucking guards in the depth chart they have.
My
They have
issue-
so
there
many
is so
guards.
Look at how many injuries. Goddamn.
Yeah,
What I would
Like-
do
Jonathan Isaac hasn't played since the bubble.
And that's a problem.
back when he
that's
did
going on
back
3
when he
years.
stood for the anthem, that was a crazy
Going on
situation.
3 years, he hasn't played. It's crazy.
Yeah, they did throw the Magic in the bubble for no reason, didn't they?
Yeah,
Oh shit, they do have Paulo. I forgot about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Paulo Banchero. They brought back.
He's not gonna make that much of
Mo
a difference
Bamba,
though.
they brought back Bol. They still have Cole Anthony. Franz Wagner
Jonathan
was a good
Isaac is
rookie
healthy.
last
He
year.
now has a new injury, which is hamstring. Okay. Suggs. Okay, but my thing with this team, and it sucks that Markelle Fultz is injured again. This team has so much talent.
so much young talent.
The unfortunate thing is for this team to ever make the playoffs, you're going to have to, 1, get a star that'll lead this team, and 2, get a good coach.
And 3, make sure they develop right because it seems like
And
the
honestly,
Magic,
I don't think it
seems
should
like
be
the
that
Magic
hard
have
for them
been
to
a
do
bad
that.
development
Right.
team.
It's Orlando at the end of
Right.
the day.
It's a great
It's a huge market.
location.
Huge
So it's
market,
like
yeah.
And my issue is I love Paulo Banchero, but as the number 1, I really thought Jabari Smith.
You are super high on Jabari.
I am. I just think that would have been perfect.
I'm not low on Jabari whatsoever. I'm
I'm not low on Paulo Banchero. I just don't think, like, it's just another player you have to develop.
I think
Like,
Paolo is just
develop.
more of an exciting player, but I think Jabari Smith is more of the all-around player. Yeah. But Paolo is definitely the more
I
exciting.
think
He's
that
gonna have
Ivy's
the more
still gonna be the
highlights.
best player out that draft.
Ivy?
Huh?
It's not a bad opinion.
Yeah, I think Ivy has the highest ceiling
Him
of them all.
or what's his name to the Kings? Keegan Murray.
Keegan Murray's good too. Yeah. Keegan Murray was fucking.
He's a dog.
Given it's summer league, but he was
And
fucking.
I don't know why people
phenomenal.
don't talk about him more, but yeah, he's
We just know they're gonna fuck up.
yeah.
We just know they're gonna fuck him up.
They don't even have his picture up, which is crazy.
Like, bro, the disrespect to this man.
Yeah.
That is bananas.
But yeah, that's my.
NBA.com.
It
It's
sucks
literally
for the
your
Magic because I
company.
like. Can you go back to the Magic depth chart real quick?
They got R.J. Hampton that they got from the Nuggets. They got Gary.
Yeah, because I
Harris.
love
They got-
love the combination of Markelle Fultz and Cole Anthony leading your guards. Jalen Suggs and Terrence Ross is a good, next shooting guards to have. Franz Wagner and Jonathan Isaac is again another good duo to have at small forward. Banchero and
Mo Bamba's
Bamba,
my guy. I ain't gonna lie.
underrated as hell, yeah. And then
I
you got
love Mo
Moritz
Bamba.
Wagner and Wendell Carter Jr.
I say Wendell Carter Jr. is not
It's a
bad.
team with just so much talent. RJ Hampton's randomly there. I didn't even mention him. Didn't mention Gary Harris. That's another guy that has so much talent that's just being wasted because he couldn't figure it out in Denver.
No, he had that really good year with Denver, got paid, but then he got injured twice, and he just hasn't had the same
Sucks to see. It really
same
sucks to see.
athleticism and shit since he's gotten injured.
Because like 1 through 10, it's a whole bunch of guys that are like really talented, like
yeah.
amazingly talented, but it's never gonna work.
And
you can
I
see
just
it.
think Orlando's development system is fucking dog shit.
But it's also a team where if they were to randomly make a run and just make 10th seed just out of nowhere, it's not. I wouldn't question it.
Bro, I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be
10th,
surprised. And I
if
wouldn't
they- I-
question
I would
it.
be-
10th. Ninth, I would be like, whoa.
No, I'd be shocked.
That's crazy.
I'd be shocked if
But-
they even made it into the play-ins at all. But if they push to try to fight for a play-in spot, if they were 11th, I wouldn't be shocked.
Say, I'm not really expecting too much.
Well,
from
yeah,
Yeah, not at all.
I
Not
have
at all.
them as the second worst team in the.
They're just going to continue to get top draft picks and not.
because I think
together.
the
That
Hornets
that
are
could
gonna
be scary
the
though,
worst.
Yeah.
because if they get the right top draft pick,
I mean, Banchero,
I
I,
say-
feel like
Nuts.
Banchero can be the right one. Suggs,
I say this
Suggs
year-
had a very better second half than he did first half of last year, but it was a very
Crazy
bad
thought
first
here.
half.
I
last
say this year you tank and you trade that top draft pick for
I
a
don't think
top
they
player.
have to try to tank. I think they're just going to tank.
But I think I would get like the first, second, or third pick and trade it for a top disgruntled player. Even if it's just like you really just need to see like these players right here, they just need to see victory. They just need to see.
And they're it's such a
Yeah.
deep team, like you were
'Cause the
talking
thing
about.
about their
you can
roster-
take their top 3 pick and a couple young guys and give it to somebody, and you still have a deep roster.
the thing that's nice about their roster is that they can literally take any star.
and
Like
it
they
just
can
works.
upgrade at any
Any
position.
position
Yeah.
you could be okay with, yeah.
Like any one of their starters can calmly be moved to the bench without any question.
Yeah.
And just include
And
the guy
that's-
who was on the bench, put him in the trade.
Right.
So, yeah, I just feel like they're. I feel like their just development staff is fucking garbage. Oladipo didn't break out till he got out of
Well,
there.
it's just a lot of bad luck. I mean,
Harris wasn't good till he got out of there. Vucevic was good while he was there, but he also was there for like 10 fucking years. He had to show something in that time span.
he was Captain Orlando for a while.
But yeah, he was like he was rough. there.
Captain Orlando.
Captain Orlando is
All right,
nuts.
so do we have any opinion on the Washington Wizards? Now, this is actually interesting because if they stay healthy, which is their huge issue, is if that they can stay healthy, yeah, I mean, one could probably say that they are a playoff
You
potential
got
team.
Beal and Porzingis in your starting.
I thought they made a really good
if they're
trade.
healthy.
I think that trade in the offseason that got rid of Caldwell Pope, and they got Will Barton and Monty Morris. I thought that was a great trade.
Terrible.
What?
Bro, they were the top 3 worst worst defensive teams in the league last year. Pope was their only defender. They literally have
Will
no.
Barton and Monty Morris are no
No,
slouches
they
at their
are
position.
like in the fucking like
Bro.
in like percentages per
It's the
possession.
Wizards. I really don't care that much.
They literally are they gave up their last good defender.
Dude, they got Taj Gibson.
They gave up they gave up their last good defender. And given I don't got any hopes for this team anyway, even if they kept Caldwell Pope, it just gives another person who needs the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
So, and they already got like 6 fucking guys who need that.
I
So
think,
I don't think that was a good trade at all.
in my opinion, I'll
If
say
they were
this.
a championship team that was trying to fill out the roster a little bit easier, phenomenal trade.
This team
For this team, it was not a good trade.
is a playoff team if everybody stays healthy. But you know it's
They're
not.
playing
This is the
team.
thing.
You know they're not gonna stay healthy. That's
This
you
is
know
what
they're
needs-
not.
Johnny Davis
We
as
need a
rookie,
boundary
I love
on
that
this,
pickup.
Because it's like health is different for every team.
Yeah,
There's a certain level of health for each team that needs.
I'm saying perfectly healthy.
Yeah. See, that's
this team-
impossible.
That's
Yeah.
a big. It's
See, like-
exactly.
For example, with the Lakers, if we can get 60 games out of AD and 60 games out of Braun, we're fine. I'm not hearing anything less than that. But those 60 games are the minimum requirement for that. That what I would be considered a pretty fairly healthy season.
But this Wizards, they need every player.
But
to be
yeah, if you
healthy every
need to
game.
play all 82, chances are, bro, you're not.
I think low key.
Just to make the
Well, I don't
playoffs.
say 82, but I'd say you'd have to get 70 out of Kuzma, 70 out of Beal, and at least 60 out of Porzingis. Which I can't rely on that.
And bro, I'm
because
gonna be-
I loved, like you said, love Johnny Davis.
Yeah, Johnny Davis is a dog.
I think Rui Hachimura is another person that you need at least 65, 70 out of
he
him.
was
and he can't.
phenomenal when Russ was there.
Yeah.
When Russ was
But
there,
last year he
distributing.
he missed like the
Rui
whole
was
first half
great.
of the season with like an eye injury or something.
Then you will have Denny Avdia.
Daniel
which-
Gafford is completely underrated. I love him.
Yeah. He's a pretty good guy.
Just
Denny Advia, he's been very up and down his first couple of years in the league. And bro, they're fucked. Beal signed a 5-year extension, no trade clause. What they are never going to be able to get a good return back.
I'm fine
for
with
him.
that.
No, because then that means they're going to be bad for another 5 years, like bad.
He wants to win though.
Yeah.
So if they're not winning, he's gonna waive the no trade clause anyway.
But you know,
But
for
he's
a
going to
team,
pick where he wants to go.
But
So
here's
he's
the
going to pick a
thing,
team.
Matt, look at this team.
Isn't going to give up a crazy package
look at this
for
team.
him.
For a team that nobody wants to go to, this is a solid team as long as they stay healthy. Like if you give me this,
And that's the thing though. You're only gonna trade Bradley Beal to a contender anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, but most teams, if you don't have that no trade clause, they would give up a good
lot
enough,
more, yeah.
a lot more than a team that he says, no, you can only trade me to this team. And so now that other team has all the leverage in the fucking world. So now the Wizards are going to be like, do we really even trade him?
But
that's the thing, though. I feel like-
to not think that would happen.
I'm about to say, I feel like that's kind of like you're kind of looking too deep into it. Cause like if Bradley Beal openly comes out, which he probably will, like, all right, if I'm not gonna play for the Wizards, I'm playing for somebody that's gonna win a championship. I'm pretty sure the Houston Rockets ain't gonna go out their way to try and make a trade package for him. Cause all right, nigga, we're not gonna win anything no time soon. So what are we even bothering for? So I feel like that would narrow the market from there. I don't really think that the no trade clause is gonna matter too much.
I think it's going to matter in 3 years when it's all going.
Bradley Beal's he's a 30 points per game player.
Not last year.
Kyle Kuzma's great in my opinion. I think he fits perfectly next to Beal. I think the big question mark is going to be
Don't
over
do that.
Porzingis.
You're just mad about Lakers shit. He's not ass. He had a good year last year.
He's ass. Ever talk to me about that? He's fucking
He won a
terrible.
champion. He helped us win a championship.
He ain't help us do a damn thing. Don't.
I don't know, man.
Don't.
He averaged 17 and 9 on 45% shooting. I like it.
You're a Knicks fan. You're a Knicks fan.
What does that got to do with anything?
You like anything.
We never should have
productive.
got rid of him. Caldwell Pope.
Jesus.
You like anything productive.
Damn, that's right. But yeah, whatever.
All right, so that's gonna lead us on to our last team in the East.
No, I'm kidding. So the last team, and then we're gonna cut this short, and we're gonna get out of here.
Split this into 2 episodes.
The Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets.
They had the most tumultuous
I ain't
offseason
gonna
as far
lie.
as in the news.
This is gonna sound crazy, but I'm up on Brooklyn.
I'm up on them too.
If you search Brooklyn Nets depth chart, ESPN has that bullshit where it just only gives you like 2 sometimes. You can go on some of those other 2 you see, and then it'll have it. Yeah. I love this team.
I like it a
I
lot.
think they're missing a center, but I love this team.
This is the thing, though. I love the team basketball wise.
Yes.
Kyrie got to stay the fuck out the media, bro.
Yeah.
He has to.
Yeah. But that's
You can't like. That's gonna wear on this team mentally if he keeps doing what he's doing.
And we already know some of these players are mentally fucking weak.
Especially like from KD's point of view. All right, you just come off of a horrible ending season. Boom. You just want to leave all that. You just want to leave it.
That's kind of what he
start
was
fresh.
trying to do.
I can't start fresh if you're still doing the same things that you were doing.
That's a fair point. But I don't think we're going to get any stupidness out of this team. Now, the reason why I say that is the biggest thing is that Ben Simmons. So I don't know what's possessed this guy to be so open with the media right now.
Yeah, I don't. He's doing interviews.
I love it.
Right.
I love it. This is different. Like, we're actually seeing Ben Simmons as someone that's being outspoken. He's actually talking about things. Like, whatever's going on in Brooklyn has Ben Simmons active in the media. I think when these three get on the court together, game one of the season, I think they're going to love playing
It's gonna
together.
be phenomenal.
Because Ben Simmons, he's not going to have the pressure to shoot next to those first three that are above him on our screen right now. And then you have Seth Curry off the bench. But don't even
Joe
mention
Harris
Patty
and
Mills.
Seth Curry
Man,
is such a fucking
Ben Simmons just
ridiculous-
needs to go out there and
needed
play
it.
basketball.
That's it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
go
And
out
man.
I think
there,
this team
do
gives
what
him
your
that.
role is.
He's next to people like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. You've mentioned Kevin Durant in the same light before. Those two right there, those players, they just go out and play basketball.
bro,
And
they're
that's what you
hoopers.
need to instill with Ben Simmons, which I think makes those two the best teammates for him. And again, there's not going to be the pressure that he had in Philly, because in
And-
Philly, what shooters did Ben Simmons have?
That's what I was
around
gonna.
him?
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna
Besides fucking JJ Redick.
5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Like-
but that's what I was gonna say. Ben Simmons has never had offensive ridiculously offensive talents next to
I
him.
think
like
he's
this.
going to establish
Joel
himself as a
Embiid
top
is
point
a
guard again.
different. Joel Embiid is. He's not even going to play the point guard position this year. He's gonna do like a power forward role, but he's gonna have like a Draymond like effect. Like he's gonna be the
love that.
ball handler. But he's never had offensive threats like
The
this.
most
Joel
effective-
Embiid is the only person he's ever
All
had.
you got to do is let him run the point from the high post.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. He will dominate from that position because I've seen him do it already.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to find fucking Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving so beautifully. If
You
they
don't ever need to shoot. If you're fucking open standing there, sure. Take the fucking shot. Don't be a bitch. Just take it. But, like, you don't have to have the pressure shooting. You have a lot of shooters on this team. And they brought in another good defender, Royce O'Neal, and he can stretch the floor.
I was going to say one
Royce
underrated.
O'Neal and TJ Warren is a fucking phenomenal bench piece for them.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Well, I don't know. I'm leaving my opinion of TJ Warren out of it for right now just because he hasn't played since the bubble.
True.
So,
True.
I don't know what we're going to get out of that.
I mean,
guy.
last time we seen him, he was putting up 50 left and right, but it was the bubble.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I overall, I think they're missing this. I think
They
at
got
the end of the
Markieff
day,
Morris, too.
when it comes down to winning, like Kyrie, you gotta do your thing, man. Just play. Even if you're a distraction, just fucking play.
Hoop your ass off. That's
Just
it.
ball. You are one of the best talents to ever walk on the court. That's the thing with KD. Stay healthy. You're one of the best to ever do it. Ben Simmons, I honestly believe he's going to be one of the best to ever do it when it's said and done, as long as he stays on the court. And I just think that's going to happen. I think he's comfortable in his environment, obviously, if he's doing all this talking.
You ain't shit.
But
I ain't even said nothing, man. I ain't even
You
said
didn't have to
nothing.
say
if Ben Simmons has a full career from this point to the end, I think we will be saying he is one of the best to ever play. He has that talent. I don't care. He doesn't have to shoot. He does not have to develop a jump shot.
I'm not disagreeing.
What?
It's just how's that a
strong
strong statement?
How's it a
not
stretch?
stretch.
Not gonna lie
That's a
to you.
strong statement.
He has a lot of work to do to
Yeah.
overcome the narrative.
That's a fact.
And how he does that is, like I said, if he
they would've
plays,
chipped this year, that narrative is gone, though.
every season from this season forward, he's gonna get rid of that
If they
narrative
would've
over
chipped this
time.
year, that narrative
He's
is
that
gone.
talented. He did win the defensive player of the year. Did he come in second?
Second to Rudy Gobert. For
Came in
some
second.
reason.
Exactly. Second
I had
defensive
him
player of
as
the
my
year.
defensive player of the year. That
He
year.
rebounds the ball. He facilitates the ball. His assists are by. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he's averaging 9 or 10 assists
I mean,
Passing
he
to
should.
Kyrie
He
and
averages
KD.
8.5
Right.
every
You want
year.
one of the
so-
most hyper offensive teams in the league. You
yeah.
should.
With Kyrie and KD getting a lot of attention, he's going to get random easy buckets in the paint. So I'm honestly predicting a season of about, 15, 10, and 8. He does that consistently every
Yeah,
single year.
he does 16,
That's
7, 8
fine.
every
That's
year,
what they're
so-
expecting from him. That's all
Yeah.
they need
That's
to
what
do.
I'm saying. If he does that year in and year out, by the end of his career, that's one of the best to ever do it. And when I say one of the best, I'm not saying like top 50 of all time. I'm saying like he'd be on NBA's 75th
all right.
anniversary
All right,
team.
yeah.
No, he'd be on their 100th anniversary
Yeah,
team.
whatever.
He'd be sitting around like 82.
He's just better than the average player.
But as they stack up against other people, it's just going to be interesting. This is one team I can't wait to watch.
Honestly, I'm excited for a lot of teams.
Hell
this year.
yeah.
And I'm excited for
yeah.
a lot of teams in this East. We haven't even gone over the West. Like, I'm excited for a lot of teams in this fucking league this year.
Man,
It's going to be a good one.
the West is hell. I don't
What,
care what
bro?
nobody says.
Really?
I don't care what nobody says. The West
Like you
is hell.
you searched the Eastern Conference standings and the entire WNBA. Yeah, they're pushing this narrative. Yeah, they're pushing this narrative. OD.
Bro, just for the podcast, I'm gonna piss everybody off. I was in a bar one time. We were actually there. Not a bar. It was Applebee's, but they had the TV. We're at the bar in the Applebee's.
God.
Bro, they had a WNBA game on.
Oh yeah.
We were sitting there.
We
for,
decided to watch WWE SmackDown instead of looking at this TV.
Yeah, we were watching SmackDown because WNBA game
Sheamus and
was
Jeff
so
Hardy
bad.
were in the brawl of a
They
century
were
backstage.
having a brawl in a bar, but we were sitting there for like 15 minutes, and this WNBA game was on. The score for each side only went up like 6 points over those 15-minute spans.
My issue is like
I don't know.
I would
And
love-
I'm not saying every WNBA player is bad because they're not. There's some dogs out there. There's some of them where like they can shoot, they can handle, they would fucking smoke
I would
me.
love to watch the NBA
But-
if there was like if the female it's a crazy statement, if the females were talented. Like, obviously they have their individual. I'm
That's
not
how-
saying
Tom's asking to get
no,
sick.
I'm not asking to get canceled because I'm gonna explain what I mean. Is that we often like we turn it on and it's just like a whole like
They're
a lot
hitting the
missed
bottom of
layups.
the backboard going up for layups. They're
that's a
hitting,
fact.
like,
My thing is that the issue and what I wish this revolution would change, and the reason why I wish it would change is because it doesn't start with this situation with that WNBA. It starts earlier than that. It starts like when you go to high school, like high schools aren't putting enough into their fucking women's basketball teams.
yeah,
That's
the
where it
girls, the
starts.
girls basketball team. Hell no.
They get to college and college is cool and all, but like when you think of the WNBA in general and the opportunity is that it's not really an opportunity. A lot of these women that go through their full ride of college know that they're not going to really make money when they go to the WNBA.
You know what I'm also thinking to add on to what you're saying, because everything you're saying is right.
Yeah.
Is like, bro, at the end of the day, like, yes, there are a few WNBA players who
That are really good.
no, I'm not even talking
Yeah.
about good. I'm talking about just physical attributes. There are a few WNBA players who are actually like decently tall, like 6'8", 6'9".
Doesn't even have to be about a tall
But no,
thing.
but majority of them are floating under 6 foot. So it's just like to get because everyone's talking about, well, they're not getting paid enough. They're not getting paid enough. They're not getting any views because it's not interesting.
Dunk.
To make it interesting,
You know how rare a
gotta
dunk
lower
is in a
that-
WNBA
you gotta
game?
lower that rim. People are talking about, well, it's like equality. You don't need to. We don't want to be babied by lowering. Fuck that. I want to see an interesting game.
Right.
I want to see you guys have more of a chance
for
to
me,
be good.
it
You
goes.
know how interesting it would be to watch a female get an and one dunk?
Oh my god,
Bro, I would go nuts in my living room, bro. I would go nuts.
crazy, bro. It's not,
Bro.
that shit isn't even about equality.
I would go
making with
insane.
God. I want to watch it, but you guys are hurting yourselves
That's the
by
thing.
wanting to be like
I
the
can't.
NBA so much.
I watch the WNBA, and that's the thing. Is like it's not even for me. It's not even about the fact that they can or can't dunk. Because for me, I don't care to.
Just bring
listen,
excitement.
I would
That's
go
what I
nuts in
want.
my
No,
living room
but
too.
that's what I'm saying though. That's where the excitement comes from.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They don't give off no excitement. It's literally
they also-
layups or a 3-pointer.
But
Layups
you
or a
also have
3-pointer.
to start with just playing fundamentally good basketball. Because that's my issue. Is
That
like
is
I
true.
tune into these WNBA games, and it's just a lot of sloppiness, a lot of
It's
just
like
shots to
watching
shoot.
basketball in the
Like just
60s.
heaves from
It's
like.
like watching SCLA lunchroom ball.
Hey, chill out. Chill out.
We had Andre Barnett. Keep that in, big dog.
No, we're cutting.
Nah, keep that in. Keep that in. The 518 knows who that is. Keep that in.
We're not trying to be the 518.
Keep that in. The 518 knows who this man is.
Oh man.
So I want y'all to hear that.
But my thing
just
about the
wild out.
WNBA is like it all starts from high school. Like you got to start the revolution from the beginning. You can't look at the end product and just shit on it because no one's putting enough into high school basketball. There's not a lot of promise coming out of college. Like you're just going to the NBA, and now this whole Brittany Griner situation is highlighting the fact that they have to go to Russia to continue to make their money. The whole thing is messed up. It's not just that LeBron makes billions of dollars and the women don't. Look at the business model. WNBA isn't pulling in the money to pay these women regardless. So you're gonna put the NBA in some kind of debt to fund this.
Furthermore, to Matt's point, then they just need to change their game.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be the exact thing as
Because
the
it's
NBA.
like you can't really expect somebody to just pay for something and they're not really getting what they paid for.
I want to
when
watch
you
good
pay for-
basketball.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to watch
First
good
and
ball.
foremost, I want to watch a good basketball game.
Like, bro,
And I'm
those
not
two
saying
games that we went to.
women are the reason why it's not a good basketball product. It's just the whole thing, the whole organization, the whole system from high school and on. It's just not made for success.
Like those two games that we went to were great.
Yeah,
They were great.
yeah.
And the Lakers and Pistons had two horrible seasons, and we still were
that game.
entertained by that game.
Hell yeah.
Because good ball was being played,
Right.
even though they were not great teams
The worst
in the
team
league.
in the NBA is at least a team that you can watch.
Right.
There's only a couple.
There's like two teams that I would watch
Yeah.
from the WNBA.
No, I'm not gonna lie. The chick who did she win MVP? I think she won Finals MVP this year. Yo, she's a dog. That white girl.
Asia, yeah.
She's a fucking
Yeah.
dog, bro. But
Raja?
like, it's just like there aren't many players you can say that about in the WNBA, and it's just like they're not being low key. Mamba, Kobe was about to be the next gen. He was about to bring the next generation of girls. Like,
I thought you were
women's basketball
I
up.
said, what the hell are you about to say?
Kobe was huge into teaching
Oh man.
girls
yeah.
basketball, bro.
Gigi was about to fry them.
Gigi
She was
would've
gonna
been the
destroy
GOAT.
them.
Oh, yeah. No,
Gigi
that's
would've been
sad.
the
She
GOAT.
would have revolutionized women's basketball. I
fuck is
promise
That's
you.
actually really sad to think about
Who's
because
Candace Parker? Who's Brittany Griner? Gigi would have smoked all of their records. Would have gone
we don't
crazy.
talk about Brittany Griner.
Don't bring weed to Russia, guys. It's a bad look.
Wow, what a first episode of being in a
The
studio.
energy is so much better.
I love it. Everything like look how like I'm gonna put up a picture just how clean this actually looks. This is gorgeous.
Matt just gets to say more dumb shit in person.
Do I say more dumb shit on the computer?
Matt, you're the big bullshit guy, man. I
I'm
respect
cool
your
with it.
opinions. You do have a lot of good opinions, but you are the big bullshit guy.
That's crazy.
Like I
I'm
think
saying
like
Pistons
what,
are
you went
gonna
on
be
a
a-
tirade about Chris Webber randomly once.
Not a time.
Like, bro, like Chris Webber.
You
gotta
know,
give
for
him
a
his
minute, no, for
For
a minute
what?
and a half,
What did he
you gave
do?
this guy his flowers. Chris Webber.
It was 37 seconds.
He's sticking to
It
it.
was 37 seconds.
Give him his flowers for
Give him
what?
his flowers.
But yeah. So on that note, our light on that camera went down.
We're back.
That was another good episode. We're gonna be back. We're gonna be getting a lot of content out. We got the whole studio created. We got a logo that wasn't included in this, a neon logo.
Gonna be right there.
Like, share, subscribe, follow these guys on their Instagrams. I don't know what they are. You're just gonna have to find it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you guys want to plug your social medias or not.
Bro, we'll edit it in. I don't give a fuck. We'll have it somewhere in there. We'll have it somewhere in there, bro.
That's just like you'll do your
Yo,
job,
crying.
Saxby. Don't worry. No, I'm just kidding.
Do what you did with the baseball crew, man.
So with that being said, we love you guys that listen. This was a wonderful episode. Can't wait to edit this one. We're gonna get you with part 2 next
Western
week.
Conference next week.
Wes, that's gonna be a fun talk about the
I
Lakers.
can't wait for that. I can't wait for that.
We're cutting that out. It's like- I'm kidding. But have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let's get it.